but it has been moved. We were in the stand directly opposite where we are now. We're now in the opposite stand to where the tunnel is and where the dressing rooms are. Steve Grizovic is going back into the dugout and almost been tripped up by a ball girl in the process. The Sky Blues players are now beginning to troop down the tunnel into the change room. That Sky Blues lineup shows 2 changes from the team. I just spotted, actually, I think I just spotted Peter Vincente out there. So although he is not in the match day squad, it looks like he is here to keep limbered up, and if I'm spotting him correctly, so it might indicate that things aren't too bad injury-wise, but we'll find out about that at the end of the game. But yeah, the Sky Blues team, which shows those 2 changes, seen Devin Kelly-Evans get a start on the right wing. We're expecting it to be a 4-4-2. With Jack Grimmer having switched back to right back. Tom Davis keeps his place. No Rod McDonald. We were aware beforehand that he might be absent, partly because he did pick up a knock apparently against Port Vale, but also his wife has been expecting, so he's not in the team, which allows Jack Grimmer to switch back to right back and Devin Kelly-Evans to come into the side. And then the tactical change, which has provoked a little bit of comment. Stuart Bevan coming in for Max Biamo, who's on the bench. Dawkins Nazon and Jordan Ponticelli also on a fairly attacking bench. Adam on Twitter at BBC Cov Sport is predicting Coventry City to win 2-0 with Mark McNulty getting both the goals. So we are about 12 minutes away from kickoff here at Brunter Park. You can have your say at the end of the game on 0345 900 5200. Text at any time on 81333. Start your message CW and tweet us at BBC Cov Sport. I'll bring Jeff into the conversation again as we approach a kickoff here at Brunton Park. It's strange, the Sky Blues initially were doing well at home and struggling away. Then they had a bit of a purple patch away, had those terrific wins against Luton and Lincoln, which seemed to coincide with a dip in their home form. Now they seem to have turned it around a little bit at home. They've won their last 2 home games and the away form's dipped again. So I suppose the dream is get them both right at the same time. Yeah, is that we keep sort of coming back to the consistency, don't we? Yeah. In all aspects of the general form, that they never really hit great form in front of goal for the whole season. But if you can do that, if you can find consistency, there's every chance that you will be in the shake at the end of the season. That's one of the things they've got to do this afternoon. It's just that I feel I keep going on about it, but it's such a big problem, though. Quality of balls into the area. Yeah, it's just not up to standard. Yeah, it's got to improve. Indeed, and January transfer window, of course, coming up. That always is a month which the Sky Blues fans kind of fear because of the possibility of departures. In terms of bringing players in, we already know about Barrett, Josh Barrett, who's coming on loan from Reading. You were speaking to Mark Roberts, who said a second loan signing is imminent. Wouldn't say who it was, but a second is imminent. And at the moment, that's it. Yes. Yeah, that's all we know so far. Yeah, because again, going back to injuries, Jody Jones and Tony Andrew, it's 2 quality players that they're missing, and they might be the answer to the crossing in that. I'm sure Jody Jones has set up quite a few goals this season from his wide position. So again, it's something that needs addressing. Whether this second loanee, Mark Robbins has hinted that they're going to bring in fairly soon, whether he's going to be matched to that sort of standard of player, ready someone to go straight into the first team, you'd assume, and hopefully that'll make the strength of the squad that much better. So those two signings are on their way. We don't know who the second one is, but that is likely to be announced fairly soon. You would think, but he does keep talking about balancing the books, so players having to go out. And in terms of loans, as I understand it, what he said before is, in order to loan players in, he may have to loan a few players out. Now, one or two you can think of who we might be willing to do that with. But if he was actually going to bring any players and spend any money in terms of transfer fees or big wages, then he probably would have to sell players.
I'd assume so, yes. I mean, Jordan Willis has been seen every win that comes around. It seems he gets mentioned as someone who might be on his way. It was linked with Rotherham last time, wasn't he? I think this time last year, they moved up to Yorkshire to Rotherham. That didn't transpire. Stuart Bevan is another one, perhaps, who you might have thought was surplus to requirements because of his lack of involvement in first team starts. But then again, he started today. Yeah. I don't think. I'm sure it wouldn't matter. Wouldn't put him in the first team just so he's in the shop window.
No.
So there are players, the Kelly Evans twins, perhaps they might be seen as someone who he could use as bartering or try to raise some money.
The text from Evo, who says, just seen the team, OMG, Bevan instead of Nazon, no wonder we're not scoring. Why is everybody concerned about Vincente being fit? He is awful. Well, it's all about opinions, but I don't think he's been awful, certainly in the last 2 or 3 games he's played. And we've been talking about quality balls in, by the way. If you remember, just before he got the injury in the home game against Wickham, it was his ball in that provided Mark McNulty with the second goal in that game. And then shortly after that, he picked up the injury and is not in the squad today. We'll have a recap on the team news very shortly for those who are just tuning in. For some reason, the mascot has put what looks like a dead fox on the centre circuit. It's on a plinth of some sort.
Have you mentioned that yet?
No, I haven't. There's also, for some reason, there is an owl, not a real owl, a model of an owl on the corner. Andy Turner, the Coventry Telegraph, has spotted why, I think. Because there is an owl on the corner of our table. There's also some CDs hanging from the metal barriers over there, so I suspect it's all there to try and keep off the pigeons or other birds that might fly in. I don't think the fox in the middle of the pitch is for that reason, but I think the owl probably is. And I was listening to the Test Match special commentary on 5 Live Sports Extra today, and they were saying that apparently they play bird noises at the MCG to scare off the seagulls there. They play bird noises over the tannoy, which you could hear during the commentary.
There is some sort of bird at Wimbledon, isn't there, that scares off the...
Right, yes. Well, presuming that's what they were using. Matthew Nuneaton says, what a surprise, Robin's bigging up the opposition again. Does this negative pre-match talk rub off on our team? I wonder, it would explain things. Again, he's all about opinions, but what do you really expect him to come on and say, I think Carlisle are rubbish? Actually, Mark McGee did that. I remember when he was manager of Wolves, and he got a little bit of stick for it. Well, once or twice when I asked him about the opposition, he said, no, they're not very good, really. He didn't quite use those words, but it amounted to that. But you will always hear managers before a match talk about the opposition having qualities and the Sky Blues, his team having to be better than that in order to win the game. So nothing unusual, I don't think, in those comments. Ross has predicted the Sky Blues to win 4-2 today. You going for your usual 3-1, Jeff?
No, I'm going 2-1.
Oh, 2-1, okay. Because they're not scoring quite as many goals this season. But, yeah. The terrace opposite us is filling up quite well. There is somebody shouting over the tannoy, blithering away to try and get the home crowd going. The Sky Blues section, it is one block of seats, but although it's difficult for us to see because it just is to our right and adjacent to us, but it looks to be pretty full. So 600 tickets sold ahead of the game to Sky Sky Blues fans and supporters able to buy tickets on the day. It's BBC, Coventry and Warwickshire will keep you across all the scores throughout the land today, and where it affects the Sky Blues in particular in League Two. We've got full match Coventry coming up on Carlisle versus Coventry City, and there'll be reaction to this. Well, between 5 and 6, of course, we'll take your calls. We'll get the first interview with the Sky Blues manager Mark Robbins and further reaction to the game, and you can hear more during our sports bulletins tomorrow morning from 7:30 and 8:30, and during the breakfast show tomorrow morning as well here on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. The atmosphere is building up a little bit, but I think that's largely because someone's shouting over the tannoy. I can't actually see him, but he's making an awful lot of noise, whoever it is. But actually it does look like a reasonable crowd here at Carlisle, who've been an up and down team over the years. Of course, they famously got onto the top flight. Certainly I'm old enough to remember when they got to the top flight and were actually top of the league 3 games into the season under Bob Stokoe. It didn't go quite so well after that, and they subsequently got relegated. They've dropped out of the Football League altogether, and they've come back again, and now in League Two, along with they were under Greg Abbott, was a former Sky Blues man in the League One for a while. That's when the Sky Blues last played them in 2014. Andy Kinney Sky Blues, I fear another defeat for us today. Team choices baffling. I hope I'm wrong. Morecambe and Port Vale results were a big letdown. Let's hope we don't have another play-up Sky Blues. He adds 81333. Start your text CW if you want to get to your message to us. Still waiting for the teams to come out from the tunnel directly opposite us on a cold afternoon, but the pitch, Jeff, is looking pretty decent. It's cut up a bit, you'd expect that, but it's not looking bad, is it?
No, it looks in good condition, considering they've had a lot worse weather up here than we've had back in the Midlands.
As the two teams come out, Michael Doyle marches the Sky Blues team out. Lee Burge applauds to the corner of the ground where the Sky Blues fans are, and they turn their backs on us and face the stand opposite us to go through the usual pre-match preliminaries. The Sky Blues are in their normal kit. Few of the players applauding the away fans. Sky Blue shirts, shorts and socks, and Carlisle in their blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks. And the officials, very tall looking referee actually, are also traditionally clothed. Scott Oldham is the referee, and they're in all black. On the emails, Graham is asking me any news on any transfers. Well, not really, Graham, other than what we told you about that we know about the one player that's already been announced. Another player is expected to be announced imminently, according to Mark Robbins. Yes,
that's what he said to us on Tuesday. I lose track of days.
It was Thursday, actually.
Thursday, yeah, Thursday, 9:15 Thursday. Yeah, I remember it. Yes, they obviously got the lad from Reading, and hoping to get another one as soon as possible.
Steve on the text says the Fox is on the badge of Carlisle from John Peel, the great huntsman of Cumbria, as opposed to the great DJ born in Heswall. It's just the fact that I sort of gather that it's to do with the club's emblem, but it's just slightly odd to have what looks like a dead fox on a sort of plank of wood in the middle of the pitch. But there we go. The players line up with all the dignitaries out in the middle of it. The amount of people who come out in the middle of the pitch these days, and they're all out there now being photographed as we go through the preliminaries ahead of the game. Looks like we might be kicking off a trifle late here at Brunton Park on a cold, blowy but dry afternoon. The fox is called Olga, apparently. I don't know whether he used to be a Russian gymnast or what, but anyway, is going to be the Sky Blues. I think they've had the toss, and the Sky Blues are going to be kicking from right to left as we look at it. Michael Doyle goes in among the players. No pre-match huddle. Carlisle are having one, but the Sky Blues are starting with Michael Doyle walking around a few of the players and telling them what they need to do, and it does look straight away as if they are going to line up with a 4-4-2. Lee Burge in goal, Chris Stokes left back, Jack Grimmer right back, Tom Davis on the left of the two central defenders, Jordan Willis on the right, Jordan Shipley on the left wing, Devin Kelly-Evans on the right, Tom Bayliss and Michael Doyle in the middle, Mark McNulty and Stuart Bevan the main front men, and the Sky Blues will kick off, kicking with the Sky Blue supporters adjacent to their own goalkeeper Lee Burge in this first half. McNulty will kick off, and it's live here on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire, and we are underway. And the Sky Blues with Jordan Willis lobbing the ball down the right wing, looking for Devin Kelly-Evans. That's headed out, and that will be a throw into Coventry City on the halfway line. So no surprises, Jeff, in the way that the team is lined up.
It's exactly as we expected to be, with Jack Grimmer back in his right fullback slot, and then with the four in midfield with Bayliss and Doyle in the central roles, and then Devin Kelly-Evans. An important day for him, starting the match for the Sky Blues on the right of midfield, where possibly he can do his most dangerous work.
An early goal in League Two sees Cambridge United take the lead against Crewe. Both those teams in the bottom half of the table. The Sky Blues song already ringing around the ground, and Chris Stokes has it for Coventry City, plays it forward, finds McNulty, couldn't bring it under control, the ball is cleared, it seems to hang in the breeze may have an impact on the game. It's difficult to see who it favours in this first half. Carlisle have won a throw in halfway inside the Sky Blues half. Throw will be taken by Brown. Carlisle United on the right hand side. James Brown, there's a Carlisle player down, but James Brown can join our team of rock and roll footballers, as the referee just checking on Richie Bennett there, but doesn't require treatment. He's got back up, and so play continues. And here is James Brown, tackled by Jordan Shipley, and Carlisle have a throw and level with the Sky Blues penalty area, and it goes towards the corner of the penalty area, and it's Hallam Hope, top scorer, plays it out to the right wing, and now Brown managed to squeeze it to the penalty area, but Tom Bayliss is there to clear. Stuart Bevan finds McNulty. McNulty has to stop to pick up the pass. He plays a good ball into the middle to Tom Bayliss. Bayliss has got Devin Kelly-Evans out on the right. Devin Kelly-Evans runs through the middle as Bayliss tries to play the ball through to him. Almost got there, but a defender just got there first and managed to clear for Carlisle United. Now keeper's clearance is somewhat miscued, and Chris Stokes can pick it up for the Sky Blues. He lobs a little aimlessly down the left hand side. Carlisle, though, making a bit of a meal of clearing it, but they do eventually succeed. They're now trying to attack with the gloved Hallam Hope on the left, battling with Jordan Willis. Willis at the moment getting the better of that battle and winning the throw in inside his own half.
That Sky Blues attack down this started down the left hand side, and it was very useful first time pass by Stuart Bevan, enable the Sky Blues to push forward quite quickly.
In the Premier League, Chelsea lead Stoke by 1-0 through Antonio Rudiger, but Liverpool 0, Leicester 1. Jamie Vardy has scored for Leicester against Liverpool. Here's Bevan with the Sky Blues just losing control of the ball. It comes out to the left hand side. It's picked up by Chris Stokes, who handles the ball according to the referee, and that'll be a free kick to Carlisle inside the Sky Blues half. And situation for the Sky Blues to have to defend early on. Free kick to be taken by Gary Liddell. It's about 5 metres inside the Sky Blues half. Liddell floats in towards the edge of the area. Tom Davis rises high and heads it away. Something Davis particularly good at. He gets a long way up to get his headers away. Jordan Willis heads that one away as Carlisle try and put it back into the penalty area. It comes back to the halfway line. Carlisle have it again with Tom Parks. High ball forward from him. Fairly straightforward tactics from Carlisle, but ineffective in this occasion, and Lee Burge is able to gather the ball and gives it straight out to Chris Stokes, who plays it to Stuart Bevan. His header just a little bit too strong for Jordan Shipley, and Carlisle are able to pick up possession again. James Brown plays the ball back towards his penalty area, and now the Again, a long ball forward from Carlisle, and bounces awkwardly from Jack Grimmer, who has to turn around and check, but does well and slides it down the right channel to Devin Kelly-Evans, who's immediately surrounded by Carlisle players, one of whom takes the ball off him, but Kelly-Evans as well to nick the ball back and get it back to Jordan Willis. And now Tom Bayliss turns on the ball. He strides forward up towards the halfway line, but runs into trouble, allows Carlisle to take possession. Out on the left-hand side, they play it back into their own half. It comes to Tom Parks. Parks turns, plays it back towards his penalty area, and the game settles down again. Carlisle play a long ball out to the left wing. It's flicked forward and headed away by Tom Davis, and it will be Jordan Shipley gets a touch for Bayliss again. Bayliss, nice ball out to the right, which Mark McNulty doesn't quite manage to keep in. That'll be a throw into Carlisle, but they're not quite Wycombe Wanderers, Carlisle, Jeff, but they're clearly favouring the long ball at the moment.
They are, yes. I think if anything, the wind's in their direction. They're kicking from right to left here as we look at it, and I think the wind is certainly blowing towards that far corner flag, I think.
Just a note that Sammy Clingan, the former Sky Blues player, playing in Northern Ireland these days. He scored for his Irish club Glenavon today at Ballymena. The ball is played by Carlisle again long. It's flicked on, but that rolls all the way to Lee Burge, wearing bright orange. He's got what looks like red gloves to go with his orange outfit. As he takes his time, punts the ball upfield through the middle, and Carlisle head that one away. Sky Blues just not really getting much of the possession at the moment. Coventry rather, not getting much of the possession at the moment. And Carlisle play it long into the Sky Blues half. Jordan Willis gets the better of the forward, heads it away, but you can only find a Carlisle player. So again, it's the home side who have it with Jamie Devitt. He plays it out to the right hand side. Craig Liddell back into his own half. Mark McNulty pressing, trying to force Carlisle backwards. And they're now just outside their own penalty area with Mike Jones. Mike Jones started life as a Tranmere Rovers trainee, plays the ball to his left. It's played long into the Sky Blues half, and Jordan Willis is adjudged just to have shoved Richie Bennett in the back, and he concedes a free kick, but halfway inside the Sky Blues half on the Carlisle left. Banging you might hear as they bang the corrugated iron back of this stand, which is, don't bang it too hard. It was a long way down here. But that's what Carlisle fans are using to make a bit of noise. And the free kick is whipped in. I think that was attempted a shot to catch the keeper out, but Lee Burge was alert to it and caught it on the bounce comfortably. That goes down as a first shot on goal. It was on target, but not really a threat. Stuart Bevan with a flick on, almost finds McNulty. Defender was a little fortunate, just hit Clint Hill either side of him, and McNulty's through on goal. Now the Sky Blues getting a bit of bother at the other end. Chris Stokes has passed back, gives Lee Burge a lot to do, and the keeper goes for safety and just kicks it into touch. And it's a throw in to Carlisle level with the Sky Blues penalty area. They go back a bit, back into their own half. Could have been more adventurous there, Carlisle, but they're opting for the patient build-up. Clearly, Liddell has it for them. Play it towards the edge of the penalty area. It's headed down. Chris Stokes heads it back to Lee Burge. Hint of danger there because there was a forward fairly close to it, but it all worked out fine.
I don't think the initial a minute ago when Lee Burge just hoofed into touch, I don't think he expected the pass back from Chris Stokes on that occasion, but Chris Stokes, if there's any doubt about it, he made a good firm header back to Lee Burge in that defensive situation, which certainly stopped initially with a good header back to him.
In the Premier League is Chelsea 2, Stoke 0. Daniel Drinkwater for Stoke City. Chelsea against Stoke City, 2-0 there. And in League 2, third place Lincoln City have taken the lead against bottom place Forest Green Rovers. They lead by a goal to nil. And fourth place Wycombe lead. That is against Mansfield, who are just behind the Sky Blues. Wycombe 1, Mansfield 0. Aquin Fenway has scored for Wycombe. And Blackburn under Tony Mowbray going well at the moment. They lead Scunthorpe by a goal to nil. Here's Stuart Bevan sliding in to try and win the ball, but just runs away, and Carlisle able to bring it back up towards the halfway line. They're now trying to attack down the right wing, but Tom Davis is across well to make the tackle. Carlisle get a throw, again level with the Sky Blues penalty area on the Carlisle right. James Brown to take it, and he takes his time, and he's tackled as the throw comes back to him. He's tackled by Stuart Bevan, so it's another throw in to Carlisle. James Brown rather takes it, and it's slid in towards the edge of the penalty area by Devitt. It comes back to Brown. James Brown whips across him, but Tom Davis is able to clear that easily up to halfway, and Carlisle have to start from deep once again, dominating the possession. Carlisle without a moment hurting the Sky Blues really. Liddell on the halfway line plays a long ball, but Jordan Willis lets that go to Lee Burge, who's able to land on the ball just inside his penalty area. Gets another pass back from Chris Stokes. Oh my goodness, his clearance only just got past the forward right in front of him, but Sky Blues get away with that and now have possession with Jordan Shipley. Bevan felt he was tugged off the ball, complains to the referee, but play continues with Doyle playing the ball over the top, finds Stuart Bevan. That's a good ball from Michael Doyle. Stuart Bevan out on the left, just fell over as he tried to get the ball into the penalty area and couldn't get enough power on it. Doyle has it back, he's overhit that one, but Stokes manages to charge down the attempted clearance by the defender, and the ball runs through to the Carlisle keeper.
One or two encouraging moments from Sky Blues fans away to our right here at Brunton Park, and looks like Stuart Bevan did well to get to a decent pass from Michael Doyle, but just couldn't get enough onto his cross into the area.
Punt upfield from Carlisle, and the direct approach just caused a problem with two there. Eventually it comes off Tom Davis's head, doesn't know much about it, but it allows Lee Burge to come and gather the ball. Now Chris Stokes clears long for the Sky Blues. Jordan Shipley gives chase, that will go out for a Carlisle United throw. Remains 0-0 here in the Premier League. Watford 1, Swansea 0. Andre Carrillo for Watford. And it's a throw into Carlisle halfway inside their own half, taken by again James Brown. Not much goalmouth action so far. Throwing down the line, and Carlisle head it over the top. Jordan Willis gets his head to it, and it goes out for another throw into Carlisle. We've made some progress down the pitch, down the right side. James Brown takes that throw in quickly, but Carlisle are forced back into their own half. Sky Blues pressing well, and Carlisle having to build from deep again. And Gary Liddell thinks about going for the long ball. This time he doesn't go for it and passes it square to Clint Hill. Hill chips it forward, and runs to Jack Grimm, and then attempted overhead kick from Richie Bennett. A hint of a high boot, but it didn't really matter because the Sky Blues one possession. Devon Kelly-Evans to Stuart Bevan. Bevan wins a throw in for the Sky Blues right in front of Mark Robbins on the opposite side to us. Throw into Coventry City. And again, Sky Blues fans in good voice. And Grimmer with the throw. 0-0 still the score. This throw Stuart Bevan, but Bevan couldn't quite pick under control. Carlisle were waiting for the ball to go out for a throw, and it never went out. So in the end, Tom Parks had to play it back to his keeper, and Devon Kelly-Evans puts the keeper under pressure, and his clearance is not a good one. He gets away with it, and Carlisle now play it rather aimlessly inside the Sky Blues half, and that goes out for a throw into the Sky Blues. And the Championship derby are one up against Ipswich. Scunthorpe have now equalised against Blackburn in League One. Throw into the Sky Blues halfway inside their own half, and taken by Chris Stokes. His throw finds Mark McNulty, who heads it down but doesn't find Jordan Shipley, and it's won well though by Tom Davis and Sky Blues, who finds Chris Stokes. Stokes forward to Shipley to McNulty. They're on the left wing now, but halfway inside the Carlisle half. McNulty forward to Shipley surrounded by blue shirts, but keeps the ball well. Just his back heel to Chris Stokes lacked power. The Sky Blues do get a throw in halfway inside the Carlisle half. Pity, because Stokes has got himself in a good position. He just turns to Jordan Shipley, just asking for A bit more of a decisive, firmer contact on the ball to him. Referee's having a word with both captains here. There's been a bit of feistiness going on between Michael Doyle and someone. Here's Doyle now, forward to Shipley. Shipley to Stokes. Stokes can't squeeze the ball through, and Carlisle have it and bring it away up towards halfway. And it's with Brown, James Brown, back to his penalty area. And Carlisle again building from deep. Still goalless here. 15 minutes played. Good interception from Chris Stokes just inside the Coventry City half. Finds Jordan Shipley to Tom Bayliss. Bayliss now halfway inside the Carlisle half. Out to the right wing to Devon Kelly-Evans. Back to Bayliss, who slides it through. Oh, just overhit it for Devon Kelly-Evans, who was in position. He was mindful of not going too far forward for fear of being offside. And maybe Bayliss thought he was further forward than he was. And he overhit the pass, and the move breaks down.
That goes into the department of what we were talking about earlier on, the final ball into the penalty area, and Bayliss just overhit that. I think he thought Devon Kelly-Evans was just going to be a little bit quicker out the blocks, but he wasn't, and the ball went aimlessly for a goal kick.
And that goal kick from Carlisle goes into the Sky Blues half. Jordan Willis up there to try and win it. It comes out to the right hand side. Here's Brown back into his own half. And Carlisle now with Mike Jones. He plays a diagonal ball towards the Sky Blues penalty area, headed away by Tom Davis. Comes to Michael Doyle. Doyle finds Shipley in a bit of space on the left. Shipley has Bevan and McNulty up, and Devon Kelly-Evans on the far side. He plays it to Bevan, to McNulty. McNulty trying to find room for a shot, and when it came, there were two defenders in front of him who made the block. It's McNulty again. Bayliss outside the penalty area now. He plays it out to Devon Kelly-Evans. Devon Kelly-Evans to Grimmer, who's onside, has it in the byline, pulls it back. Oh, there's a chance for a header from Shipley. Couldn't quite reach it. Doyle pulls it back now. McNulty can't get on the end of it, and Carlisle clear. That was Sky Blues having to deal with this as an awkward ball, and it's missed by Tom Davis but taken by Burge, who is inside his penalty area. The assistant referee in a very good position to call that, but the Sky Blues there looking a threat, and now they play the ball forward. Devon Kelly-Evans, who felt he was fouled, gets up and cannons the ball forward, but it'll be cleared by Carlisle. McNulty had a chance, maybe just trying too hard to find the perfect space. The Sky Blues have got a substitute ready. Now, who's gone down? Oh, it's Jordan Willis has gone down. And so Dominic Hyam is going to get a rare opportunity for the Sky Blues. Well, that's the blow. Already no Ron McDonald. And now they've lost Jordan Willis as well. And Dominic Hyam makes only his fourth league appearance for the Sky Blues.
Hasn't disgraced himself or let the Sky Blues down in those brief appearances he's made for the team, so hopefully he can just slot in there and pick it up from when he last played. Yeah, it was a straight swap. He's gone to the right of the two central defenders. Bayliss plays the ball forward, and Devon Kelly-Evans runs onto it via Bevan's header, gets into Shipley. Shipley tries a shot from long range. It wasn't a bad effort, but just curls wide of the post and out for a goal kick. Sky Blues looking a bit of a threat now to Carlisle. Once again, it was Jack Grimm in that advanced position where the cross that he tried to pick out McNulty. But eventually it fell to McNulty from the headed clearance by a Carlisle United defender. So he was unable to get the shot away. But Sky was looking a bit better last 5 minutes or so. Yeah, have looked the bigger threat thus far. Jordan Shipley's clearance is a slightly odd one. It comes to Carlisle on the left. They whip the ball in, and that's a dangerous looking ball, but no one from Carlisle able to get on the end of it. Lee Burge bowls it out to Chris Stokes. Sky Blues having to play out of their own penalty area, but they managed to do so, and Jordan Shipley crosses the halfway line now. Shipley infield to Doyle. Doyle forward looking for Bevan. He wasn't quite in control of the ball, Doyle, who's just snapping a bit at Mike Jones. Two number 8s having an interesting contest in midfield, and the ball rolls to the Carlisle keeper, Jack Bonham, and then it remains goalless. His long kicks are proving a bit of a problem for the Sky Blues defence. That's another one in there. It's headed away by Tom Davis. The referee has given the free kick to Sky Blues. Davis fouled. Free kick to Coventry City. Still
on either side, breaking the deadlock with the Sky Blues, looking the more likely at the moment. Lee Burge with the free kick just outside his penalty area. That's a high ball, and the wind might be behind the Sky Blues. And here's Chris Stokes forward, finds Shipley. Shipley gets past, just a little tentative for Michael Doyle, doesn't reach him, but then Shipley is fouled. He goes down awkwardly as he went over James Brown, and Shipley seems to be in some discomfort. Sky Blues already forced into one substitution for an injury. Shipley's getting up gingerly. I think he's okay. Carlisle fans not too enamoured with the free kick. It's always difficult ones, those ones. It goes against your team. You tend to feel what the defender wasn't doing anything wrong, but he just stood there basically, didn't make any attempt to go for the ball, and Shipley went over him, and it's a free kick to the Sky Blues. Just inside from the left touchline, about halfway inside the Carlisle half. Shipley's recovered enough to take the free kick and takes it left-footed towards the edge of the area. Hyam gets his head to it, and that's cleared. And Chris Stokes is in there to win it in midfield. Tom Davis tries to hit it over his head. Stuart Bevan gets a good header into Jack Grimmer. Grimmer into the penalty area. It's headed away. Grimmer onto the ball again. Grimmer's still going, and the ball's just nicked off him. And Carlisle get it away. Again, the Sky Blues looking a threat. But a rather cheap free kick given away by Hyam there. Just goes into the back of the Carlisle man. A free kick to Carlisle just inside the Sky Blues half. Yes,
a silly free kick to give away, really, because there's nothing Carlisle could really do to keep possession then. The striker was on his own. The Sky Blues should easily pick that up and been on the attack again. But Hyam's giving them a free kick, which they can test the Sky Blues defence again.
Free kick is a good one, taken forward to Tom Parks, who plays the ball out to the left wing. Cross comes in from the left, it's Tom Davis who heads it away. Volley comes in from just outside the area, that's blocked. Comes back to Carlisle, who have it now with Reggie Lamb. Lamb plays it out to the right to Brown, with two Sky Blues players trying to get the ball off him. It comes back to Brown. Brown, again, Sky Blues players there, and Michael Doyle just gets in front of Lamb and wins the free kick from being pulled back. And the Sky Blues deal with that particular threat.
Doyle did well on a couple of occasions then, just batting away, making life awkward for the two wide players from Carlisle United, and eventually he earns a free kick for his team.
Former Sky Blues striker Gary Medine scored for Bolton, who were 1-up at Sheffield United in the Championship. Also in the Championship, Brentford lead Sheffield Wednesday by 1-0. And in the Premier League, Chelsea are now 3-0 up against Stoke. Pedro scoring the Chelsea third goal. Free kick from Burge. I said the breeze might be working in the Sky Blues' favour. That one seemed to hang in the wind. I think it's a swirling breeze, and suspicion of offside against Carlisle, but the flag hasn't gone up, and Chris Stokes has headed it out for the first corner of the game. Out on the right-hand side. Thought there might be an offside there, but the assistant was in a good position and didn't think it was. So Carlisle have a corner on the right in front of the Sky Blues supporters. In that corner, it's going to be Mike Jones trot over to take it. Sky Blues have kept one man, Mark McNulty, up front. The rest are all back to defend the corner. Devin Kelly-Evans marking the player who's available for the short corner. And rest inside the penalty area. Mark McNulty's trotting back now. Jones still hasn't taken the corner. He does now, out towards the edge of the penalty area. It's beaten everybody. Will be picked up on the far side by Carlisle again and whipped in from the left. Tom Davis collided with his own man, and he's in a little bit of trouble. Tom Davis, and the shot comes from distance, is on target. It's a good save, or comfortable save, from Lee Burge. Well, Tom Davis seems to have hurt his ankle, and Chris Stokes is feeling his left shoulder. The Sky Blues defence is, physically it's falling apart here. They've already lost Jordan Willis. Now Tom Davis is in trouble. Rob McDonald not available at the start of the game. I think Chris Stokes was all right, but he was just feeling his left shoulder there. And Tom Davis requires treatment, so this is cause for concern for the Sky Blues.
Good positioning by Lee Burge for the shot that was coming in from long range. Swirling wind, then you've always got to be careful, but he was in the right place, handled it well. and obviously it's some concern for the Sky Blues with Jordan Willis already been substituted, and now the other central defender, or one of the other central defenders, Tom Davis, having attention, looks like on his shin, is it, or ankle?
Just looking at the bench, what the options would be. I suppose Ryan Haynes could come in a left back, and Chris Stokes, assuming his shoulder's all right, could go into the centre of defence. Goals so far in the Premier League: Chelsea leading Stoke 3-0. Rudiger, Drinkwater and Pedro for them. Leicester 1-up at Liverpool through Jamie Vardy. Watford 1-up against Swansea through Carrillo. In League 2 so far, where there have been goals: Cambridge 1-up against Crewe. Third place Lincoln lead Forest Green by a goal to nil. Fourth place Wickham lead Mansfield by a goal to nil. Forest Green have actually just equalised against Lincoln. So it's Lincoln 1, Forest Green Rovers 1, and the leaders Port Vale have gone behind. Leaders Luton have gone behind at Port Vale. Knowing how many goals Luton scored, they might not worry too much yet, but it is Port Vale 1, Luton 0. Tom Davis has left the field, ready to come back on. A little uncomfortable as he went off, but seems to be okay now. And it's punted up by Lee Burge, and that's headed forward by Carlisle. Have it on the right hand side. The ball's chipped into the Sky Blues half, and looked like possibly a late tackle by Davis on Hallam Hope there, but referee appears to have seen it because he's indicating an advantage as Carlisle have possession. They go for a long ball which towards the left wing, but it's cut out by Jack Grimmer, and the Sky Blues could break, and it comes to Tom Bayliss. Bayliss plays it forward. Not a great ball that time from Bayliss. But Stuart Bevins batted to try and win the ball back. I think he'll be penalised. He commits a foul. That's a free kick to Carlisle just inside their own half. It's Carlisle United 0, Coventry City 0 here at the Ricoh Arena. That's at Brunton Park, rather. Not quite the Ricoh Arena. A long way away for a start. As things stand, Wickham will be going third in the League 2 table. They would be 4 points above the Sky Blues as things stand currently this early stage today. Free kick from Luton towards the edge of the Sky Blues penalty area. There's another clash of heads, and it's Tom Davis again heading the ball away. I think it was Chris Stokes, although he's complaining to the referee, so maybe he felt there was someone from Carlisle who gave him a bit of a knock there. He's okay this time as the ball is fired fairly wildly over the bar by Carlisle.
The referee and Tom Davis just having a word then with each other. Looked to be mainly Davis doing the talking, perhaps telling the referee to keep his eye on things.
Goal kick to the Sky Blues. Still goalless, and the goal kick goes into the Carlisle half. It's headed forward, and Michael Doyle gets his head to it. Devon Kelly Evans is in there as well. Doyle's gone down off the ball, but he's going to get up fairly quickly. Made of stern stuff. Michael Doyle hardly ever misses a game. Chris Stokes chips the ball forward. Jordan Shipley gets it. Does well to keep it in on the left hand side. Jordan Shipley, and then his cross unfortunately just couldn't quite wrap his boot around the ball. He's making a brave attempt to try and convince the referee it came off the defender for a corner. I don't think it did, and it's a goal kick. Cambridge lead Crewe 2-0 now in League 2. Neither of those teams really involved in the mix at the moment. Here's Tom Davis playing the ball back to Lee Burge. He'll have to be quick here. Hesitated and eventually just has to clip the ball out for a throw and level with the penalty area with Hallam Hope right in front of him. And it's a throw in to Carlisle, level with the Sky Blues penalty area. Here's Devitt. Devitt plays it to the edge of the area, return ball to him. Davis gets a header away. Now Chris Stokes clears. But Carlisle have it again inside the Sky Blues half. And Jones plays it back to Clint Hill. He must be 83 by now. Plays the ball out towards the right hand side. Picked up by Brown. Good work from Brown to turn on the ball. Pulls it back. It's a chance here for Carlisle. Good block from Tom Davis. A home crowd are appealing for a penalty, but you can't possibly give that as an intentional handball, even if it did hit his arm. But he did do very well to dive in front of the shot and make the block, because that was a good chance for Carlisle.
Very good chance then, and well opened up. It was the long pass out to James Brown that caused the problem. It just caught Jordan Shipley just ball watching a bit, and then put a good ball into the area, squared back, but good defensive work by Tom Davies as well.
Sky Blues with Chris Stokes halfway inside his own half, lobs the ball forward, hangs in the breeze, doesn't reach Stuart Bevan. It's Carlisle. They play the ball down the right channel. That's going to go straight out for the Sky Blues throw. It's a throw into Coventry City inside their own half. Game's livened up a bit, both teams having half chances, but no goals yet. Was good defending by Tom Davies to keep the Sky Blues level. The throw in down the line, and it's picked up by Shipley, back to Stokes. Stokes hits the ball high and it's headed forward by Carlisle. Michael Doyle battling to win it, doesn't succeed. Carlisle have it with Mike Jones out to the left wing. Picked up on the left hand side. Kelly Evans forcing Carlisle back to their own half, but the home side still have it. The ball comes in towards the edge of the area. Doyle gets a touch and slightly dangerous ball back from Davis to Hyam. Hyam just gets it out of the area, finds Shipley, possibly inadvertently. Shipley plays it forward looking for McNulty, but the defender manages to win that battle, Gary Little, and get it back to his keeper. And Jack Bonham comes all the way out of his penalty area and plays the ball long into the Sky Blues half, cleared by Tom Davis. Now Shipley gets onto it just inside his own half on the left. He plays it down the left channel looking for a gap that Mark McNulty might be able to chase into. Didn't quite work out, as again defender Gary Little is able to get there first. His clearance will bounce out for a Sky Blues so inside their own half. Exeter City currently in 6th in League 2, have taken the lead against Barnet. Exeter 1, Barnet 0. Former Sky Blues loanee Chris Dagnall scored for Crewe, a 2-1 down now against Cambridge United. And foul, no, the good tackle, no, is a foul. Michael Doyle is penalised, with the assistant's advice. Doyle is furious. And the referee wasn't going to give it initially, but the assistant referee saw it as a foul. Free kick to Carlisle inside the Sky Blues half.
Well, admittedly, Michael Doyle can sometimes be a bit irrational in those sort of challenges, but he clearly got the ball on that occasion. The referee didn't do anything to start with, because that's how he saw it. But whether he had a word from there's no flag involved, but whether he had a word from the linesman in front of us.
Well, clearly Michael Doyle felt so, because it was the assistant that Michael Doyle had a go at. But the free kick comes in, it's headed out and it's picked up by Jordan Shipley. Shipley plays the ball over the top for Devon Kelly Evans to chase, and almost bounces into his path, but it's dealt with there by Tom Parks, who gets the ball away, and it's headed out for a Carlisle throw halfway inside the Sky Blues half. Clearly
Carlisle United, certainly with their fans, think that they're just gaining a bit of momentum now.
Well, it's going to be a long throw here for Carlisle into the Sky Blues penalty area. It's headed away by Dominic Hyam, did a good job there. Carlisle have it again on the left, 13 minutes to go to half time, and it's with Reggie Lamb. And Lamb gets it back again. Devon Kelly Evans trying to take the ball off him, but Lamb keeps it until Devon Kelly Evans eventually manages to get it away and out for a throw into Carlisle, level with the Sky Blues penalty area. It's going to be another long throw by the looks of things from Danny Granger. Dries the ball. It's got a fair amount of a run up. Pitch fairway in from the advertising hoardings. In goes a throw. Ooh, missed by Tom Bayliss, and Michael Doyle just gets it away, and then a shot from outside the area. It's a miscued shot. It's often the danger though from those long throws. It's the clearance and second ball that's picked up, and that was Mike Jones with a shot. It was well off target on this occasion though. Goal kick. Couple of goal in the Premier League to tell you about. Bournemouth have taken the lead against Everton through Ryan Fraser. Bournemouth 1, Everton 0. In League 2, Crawley leads Stevenage by a goal to 0, and in the Championship, Hull City are 1-0 up against Fulham.
It's important that Bayliss, Doyle and Shipley, so often it's them on the edge of the area, are alert and ready to attack for the second ball.
Free kick given to the Sky Blues inside the Carlisle half, quickly taken by Doyle to Shipley. Oh, Shipley, you don't want to criticise him having a go with a shot. Sometimes the Sky Blues are too reluctant to do that, but it was a fairly wild shot in truth from outside the area, and goes out for a goal kick. Crawley, by the way, down to 10 men, even though they lead by a goal to nil against Stevenage in League Two. Both those teams in the lower reaches of the table. And it's a goal kick to Carlisle. Exeter taking the lead means that as things stand, they're heading up to 4th place. It'd be 3 points above the Sky Blues, the way things are at the moment. The ball is played into the Sky Blues half. It's flicked on. Michael Doyle's header goes in the wrong direction, and Tom Davis heads for safety, and Lee Bosch does well to prevent it going out for a corner. Manages to grab the ball and is able to bring it to the edge of his penalty area. And well, could it be like the Port Vale game where just one goal wins it? This is a more open game than that one. There's more by way of chances than that game was, but not a great deal between the two sides. I wouldn't be too surprised if one goal won it for either team. Carlisle at the moment deep inside their own half. Devin Kelly-Evans making a nuisance of himself and causing the centre half Tom Parks some problems, and in fact the Sky Blues win the throw-in, which they've taken quickly, too quickly really. Maybe a bit more composure needed there, but Michael Doyle gets his head on the ball, but that's cleared, and it's played long into the Sky Blues half, and will roll all the way to Lee Burge, who bowls it out to Chris Stokes. Stokes lobs it to McNulty, controls it just below the shoulders, gives it to Doyle, Doyle to Bayliss, and to Jack Grimmer on the right. Grimmer striding forward, level the penalty area now into Devin Kelly-Evans, who turns, shoots and forces a decent save from the keeper. It doesn't go out for a corner as the defender manages to hook it away. That was a good effort from Devin Kelly-Evans, just parried away by the Carlisle keeper. And now Tom Davis just gets into a tangle with the pitch, it would seem, and has to kick the ball out for a Carlisle throw deep inside the Sky Blues half. And Carlisle have it, but they lose it, and it's picked up by Shipley. Shipley to Stuart Bevan, finds Michael Doyle. Doyle inside his own half, looking for options. He can't see too many, so he has to play it back to Dominic Hyam, a substitute central defender on for the injured Jordan Willis. He plays it out to Jack Grimmer. Grimmer back to Hyam. Hyam out to the left to Chris Stokes. Stokes strides over the halfway line. Still going Chris Stokes. He's got Shipley outside him on the left. Gives it to Shipley now. Shipley goes for the first time cross. But against that quality ball, I'm afraid, or lack of quality ball, into the penalty area. It goes out for a goal kick.
The Carlisle defence were backing away from Chris Stokes then, and he had a couple of looks at Jordan Shipley, and he kept going. And I don't know why he just didn't push it towards the edge of the penalty area himself then. The option always just to shove it out to Jordan Shipley, but he could have got to within a shooting distance himself.
Goal kick to...
Previously the turn by Kelly-Evans inside the penalty area, very, very good footwork, good control, and a good shot which was well saved.
Scored in his debut, of course, for the Sky Blues. Wasn't too far off there. Sky Blues have it just inside their own half. We've got about 8 minutes to go to half time. Chris Stokes forward, too high for Stuart Bevan, and the ball will go straight to the Carlisle keeper. He bowls it out underarm, picked up by Tom Parks. Sky Blues just having a little spell now where they're calling the shots, and they seem to be in charge and getting a bit of momentum going. Carlisle play the ball long if the Sky Blues half goes out for a throw-in. Ruben Ramirez, currently playing for Plymouth Argyle, and he's scored for them at Blackpool in League One. Blackpool 0, Plymouth 1. In the Championship, Hull lead Fulham by 2-0. 0-0 here at Carlisle. It's a throw into the Sky Blues to be taken by Chris Stokes. He gets the ball back from Shipley, plays it down the left-hand side. It's one in the air by Liddell. And Carlisle have it inside their own half, and it's out to the right to Liddell. Liddell plays it infield. It's picked up by Liddell again. He plays a diagonal ball infield to Jones. Jones towards the edge of the area. It's beaten the players in the area, but it might be picked up on the far side on the left. Did it go out? It didn't, or at least the assistant didn't see it go out, and there's a scramble on the edge of the area. Might have been a case there where the assistant actually didn't have a view of the ball because he's on the far side. He was directly in line, but I'm not sure he could have seen that then. But Liddell has it now for Carlisle, and the ball is on the shot from outside the area. It's not a bad one from Reggie Lamb, who let the ball run and fire the left-footed shot in, but it's wide of Lee Burge's right-hand post.
That's dangerous then. Shot from Lamb. Something the Sky Blues will have to keep their eye on. Him having space on the edge of the area.
Yeah. I don't want to be roasted by him. It's a goal kick taken by Lee Burge. Still goalless. I feel there may be goals, maybe one or two in this game. Carlisle have won a throw in just inside the Sky Blues half. We've got just over 5 minutes of normal time to go to half time. I think, well, there'll be a little bit of stoppage time, I guess, because there was a substitution and a little bit of an injury. One stage, Tom Davis received treatment and Jordan Willis was replaced, so maybe a minute or two to add on. A dangerous pass back. It's worth Mark Minotti giving chase there. The goalkeeper does well, though, the Carlisle keeper, getting the ball away, although he only finds Jack Grimmer, but Grimmer can't keep it. Sky Blues do eventually get a throw in, though, inside the Carlisle half on the Sky Blues right. Again, right in front of Mark Robbins, who's pacing up and down in his technical area. Keith Curl on the other side. Both of them have their hands in their pockets and thick coats on. It is a cold day. Ball's played forward by Dominic Hyam, chested down by Bevan for Devon Kelly-Evans. Back to Bevan on the corner of the penalty area. He squeezes it through. It's just behind McNulty, and then Bevan appeared to be caught off the ball, and he's gone down. None of the officials saw it, and now it's Carlisle trying to counter-attack with Bevan still down. Stokes has, I think, Shipley might kick this. Oh, he gives it back to Stokes. Skyber's going to carry on. Maybe they're not aware that Bevan is down. Stokes breaking down the left-hand side. He gets across into where he probably thought Bevan was, but Bevan's flat out on the floor, and the referee's actually taken the initiative and blown his whistle to stop play for treatment on Stuart Bevan. One high flyers, Shrewsbury 2-0 up at Southend. Sunderland have got one up against Nottingham Forest in the Championship, and Hull now lead Fulham by 2-0. Stuart Bevan receiving treatment here. 0-0. There'll be chances of the Sky's best effort coming from Devon Kelly-Evans, saved by the keeper. A couple of decent shots from Carlisle, but Lee Burge not really stretched so far. In the Premier League, still Bournemouth 1, Everton 0, Chelsea 3, Stoke 0, Liverpool 0, Leicester 1, and Watford 1, Swansea 0. In League 2, Cambridge 2, 10-man Cambridge, sorry, no, that's the wrong one. It's Cambridge 2, Crewe 1, they're both still 11 men. It's 10-man Crawley 1, Stevenage 0, Exeter 1, Barnet 0, Lincoln 1, Forest Green Rovers 1, Port Vale 1, Luton 0, Swindon 0, Notts County 0, Wickham 1, Mansfield 0. So of the top teams in League 2, Luton at the moment trailing at Port Vale somewhat surprisingly. Notts County at the moment being held at Swindon. Wickham, though, have the lead. They're heading for third place. Exeter also heading up the table. They have the lead against Barnet. Lincoln at the moment being held 1-1 by bottom club Forest Green Rovers. And Colchester 0-0 at second from bottom Chesterfield. Sky Blues would still be in the top 7 as things stand, but would drop to 4 points shy of the top 3. Referees dropped the ball to the Carlisle keeper, who's punted it a long way out. Stuart Bevan is off the field at the moment and does appear to be limping a bit. This might be a second enforced substitution for Mark Robbins. Skybers are currently down to 10 men as Carlisle look to attack, and they play the ball down the right channel, but it's Dominic Hyam trying to shepherd the ball out. It didn't go out, and then it's played across the 6-yard box and curls just wide of the post, and Hyam will regret that. He should have gone for safety. He was hoping the ball would go out for a goal kick, and it didn't, and he was almost embarrassed. Bevan's back on the field, but not at the moment moving all that freely.
No, I imagine with, was it a couple of minutes to go to half time, they're going to just see if he can run the injury off. It looked like an ankle injury, so I think they'll give it a couple of minutes and then assess things in more detail at half time in the changing room.
Goal kick.
That was poor defending though by Hyam.
Yeah. Lee Burge with the goal kick. It hangs in the wind and is headed forward by Carlisle, but straight out for Sky Blues. The wind, it should be said, I mean, it's not been too bad a game so far, but at times it's looked untidy. The wind is a factor, I think. I think it's making judgment a little bit difficult, particularly for some of the longer balls laid forward. It's a throw in for the Sky Blues, halfway inside their own half. played by Stokes, bounces to the halfway line. It's lobbed forward by Carlisle. Tom Davis does well to win the header. It's headed back by Carlisle on the right hand side and kept in there by James Brown, and Chris Stokes is forced to concede the second corner of the game. Both the corners having gone to Carlisle. And
James Brown, the danger down the right then, and he seems a bit of a handful for Chris Stokes this afternoon. It's something that the Sky Blues have to keep an eye on in the second half.
And in the last minute of normal time in the first half, it's a corner to Carlisle on the right, taken by James Brown. Oh, it's a good delivery. Oh, and it's come off Hyam and bounced just wide of the post. It looked for a moment like that was an own goal, but the ball just went wide of the post for another corner.
Didn't seem that Hyam knew exactly where he was and what was happening then. The ball just hit him on the knee, I think.
It was a good delivery, and that's another good one, and it's headed away by Tom Bayliss. It's still inside the penalty area though, and the volley towards goal is blocked, and that came off the Sky Blues man, as Michael Doyle I think with the block, and the Sky Blues are up against it right up to half time here. It's a corner on the far side, this time on the left, Carlisle left. And that's curled in. It's another decent delivery, and it's punched away by Burge, and there might be a counter attack for the Sky Blues, but they can't keep the ball, and the corner taker is hopelessly unmarked, but Jordan Shipley did get across quickly and blocked the cross from Jamie Devitt and got it out for a throw in. Then a heavy touch from Carlisle allows Devon Kelly-Evans to pick up the ball. He plays it down the right for Shipley to chase. He pushes his man over trying to win the ball right in front of Keith Curl. And that will be a free kick to Carlisle United. The Sky Blues survive a little flurry of dangerous corners there.
They did, yes, and a good that last one, it was a decent punch by Lee Burge, but a silly free kick by Shipley, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But because Carlisle wasn't going anywhere.
And it's floated into the penalty area and headed on and bounces into the hands of Lee Burge with Hallam Hope chasing it.
That was Shipley's foul then, giving them the chance to launch the ball into the area. And it was danger again for the Sky Blues, but they kept their goal intact for the time being.
Lee Burge's kick, that does seem to hold up in the wind. It's knocked out by Carlisle for a throw to the Sky Blues. Still goalless here. And
I haven't seen a
no, I think it did go up during that
okay.
flurry of corners, but I don't know what it said either, so we'll just have to see. Well, the old-fashioned way of waiting until the referee blows his whistle. It's a throw into Carlisle just inside the Sky Blues half. I'm going to guess it said 2 minutes. Carlisle play the ball towards the edge of the penalty area. It's headed away by Tom Davis. Michael Doyle finds Jordan Shipley on the left. Shipley down the left channel. Well, that's blocks knocked forward, and Tom Davis has to volley the ball out. It goes straight out for a Carlisle United throw-in inside their own half. Still 0-0. There's a throw-in from Carlisle. Lamb plays it back into his own half. We have had 2 minutes of stoppage time, so we're into the third minute now. Carlisle on the left, play it down to Hallam Hope. Hope on the left wing and tries to go past his man. He still has it. Hope plays it infield, gets the return ball. There's danger here, and they have to get careful with the tackles here. And Tom Davis did well, just jumped over the ball and let it roll to Lee Burge. I think Hope was half hoping he would get brought down there, but Tom Davis was careful, and Lee Burge is able to collect.
Well defended by Davis then, judged everything perfectly.
Punt from Lee Burge isn't great, but there it is. It was 3 minutes of stoppage time, evidently, because there goes the half-time whistle. It's been quite a lively first half at times. Sky Blues have certainly had their moments. Best effort from Devon Kelly-Evans. They've had half chances as well. Carlisle had that flurry of corners just before half-time, which almost led to an own goal from Hyam and a couple of other half chances. But at half-time, it remains Carlisle United 0, Coventry City 0. It's BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. Here are the half-time thoughts of Jeff Foster.
Well, perhaps the home side just edged that first half, and more penalty area action away to our right, the one that Carlisle were attacking, than away to our left. And Gomes had a couple of chances. The best one seemed to fall to Devon Kelly-Evans, who controlled it well in the penalty area, got his shot away, but the goalkeeper was equal to it and then was able to parry it away. I feel that there's plenty of scope and area and room for both fullbacks, Jack Grimmer and Chris Stokes, to push forward and try and support the front men. Haven't seen too great detail in the first half. The one time that Grimmer did get forward is very positive and set up that chance for Devon Kelly-Evans. So that seems to be one way the Sky Blues might be able to break the deadlock here, but they quite evenly match the two sides. Tend to be Carlisle using the long ball forward for the big striker Bennett and Hallam Hope to get on the end of. But so far the Sky Blues makeshift defence without McDonald, without Willis both this afternoon. McDonald before the match and Willis injured during the game, so that's an area of concern. 1 or 2 injuries keeping him for the Sky Blues. Stuart Bevan took a knock as well, but he's got the impression from him in the last 5 minutes, so he's able to run that off. So although the Sky Blues have got some decent substitutes on offer for Mark Robbins should he decide to use it straight away, but it's 0-0 and could go either way still at the moment.
Yeah, I still think it's a pretty even game at half time. You can give us your thoughts, text 81333, sign message CW, tweet us at BBC Cov Sports. Some of your early comments. Andy's asking if Carlisle is still sponsored by Stobart's. I don't think they are, Andy, no, is the answer to that. And before the game is predicting a 2-1 win to the Sky Blues. Oldie says only one word to describe that, and then he gives me lots of asterisks, but then helpfully replaces that with a word that I can use: disappointing. And someone calling himself DRMRB says fans always complain about Tugai and Fortuné, but at least they found the net sometimes in League One, unlike Bevan and Biama are managing in League Two. That's on Twitter at BBC Cov Sport for your comments. It's the Sky Blues live on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. Let's go through the other scores up and down the country. And in the Premier League, Bournemouth leading Everton by 1-0. Ryan Fraser getting that. Chelsea in complete control against Stoke, 3-0 up inside 23 minutes. It's still 3-0. Rudiger, Drinkwater and Pedro, their goal scorers. Huddersfield 0, Burnley 1. It's Liverpool 0, Leicester 1. Jamie Vardy scoring early there for Leicester. Newcastle 0, Brighton 0. Watford leads Swansea by 1-0 through Carrillo. And all those games are now at half-time. In League 2, Cambridge United 2, Crewe 1. Crewe's goal coming from former Sky Blues loanee Chris Dagnall. Cheltenham and Newport and Chesterfield Colchester are both goalless. Crawley 1, Stevenage 0. Crawley ahead but down to 10 men. Exeter 1, Barnet 0. Grimsby 0, Accrington 0. Lincoln in third place 1. Bottom place Forest Green Rovers 1. An equaliser for Christian Deutsch for Forest Green Rovers. Port Vale 1, Luton 0. So the leaders currently trailing at half time. Swindon 0, Notts County 0. And Wickham 1, Mansfield 0. The way that makes the League Two as it stands table at the moment, which I appreciate, it's a bit of a false thing, the as it stands table. It doesn't actually exist in reality. However, it can be interesting to see where we are heading. At the moment, the Sky Blues would remain in 7th place, 1 point above Accrington. There'd be 4 points off third place, who would now be Wickham. Exeter also gaining. They'll be up to 4th place, 3 points ahead of the Sky Blues. Lincoln staying 2 points ahead of Coventry. Colchester staying 1 point ahead of Coventry. And Mansfield losing ground slightly as they trail at half time. They would be down to 9th place. So that's how League Two looks at the moment. Go through the other scores in the Championship. Barnsley 0, Reading 0, Birmingham 0, Leeds 0, Brentford 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Burton 0, Norwich 0, Hull 2, Fulham 0, Ipswich 0, Derby 1, Middlesbrough 0, Villa 0, Forest 0, Sunderland 1, Sheffield United 0, Bolton 1. Former Sky Blues striker Gary Medine scoring for Bolton. Interesting scoreline there that Sunderland under Chris Coleman are leading at Nottingham Forest. In League 1, Tony Mowbray's Blackburn were ahead against Scunthorpe. It's now 1-1. Blackpool 0, Plymouth 2. Ruben Ramirez, former Sky Blues player, of course, on target for Plymouth. Bradford 1, Oxford United 0, Bury 0, Fleetwood 1, Gillingham 0, Wimbledon 0, the MK Dons 1, Peterborough 0, but the MK Dons are down to 9 men. They've had 2 players sent off there. Oldham 0, Bristol Rovers 0. Portsmouth 2, Northampton 1. Shrewsbury up at the top, lead 2-0 at Southend, and it's Walsall 1, Rotherham 1. Oldie says, I think with a hint of irony, where's Tugai when you need him? That's on the tweets. And who's this one from? This one is from Tommy, who says, can't break teams down, seems impossible to score. Won't ever beat Stoke at this rate, although Stoke themselves are 3-0 down, albeit against Chelsea. Graham and Francis, am I watching a different game? Dreadful, says Graham. Well, you're not watching a different game, it's all about opinions, isn't it? And that's how Graham sees it. Dreadful in the first half. It is goalless, Carlisle United 0, Coventry City 0, here on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. There have been some highlights, and here they are. Shipley has Bevan and McNulty up, and Devon Kelly-Evans on the far side. He plays it to Bevan, to McNulty. McNulty trying to find room for a shot, and when it came, there were two defenders in front of him who made the block. It's McNulty again. Bayliss outside the penalty area now. He plays it out to Devon Kelly-Evans. Devon Kelly-Evans to Grimmer, who's onside, has it in the byline, pulls it back. Oh, there's a chance for a header from Shipley, couldn't quite reach it. Doyle pulls it back now. McNulty can't get on the end of it, and Carlisle clear. That was Bayliss plays the ball forward, and Devon Kelly-Evans runs onto it via Bevan's header, gets into Shipley. Shipley tries a shot from long range. It wasn't a bad effort, but just curls wide of the post. Whipped in from the left. Tom Davis headed, collided with his own man, and he's in a little bit of trouble. Tom Davis, and the shot comes from distance, is on target. It's a good save, or comfortable save, from Lee Burge. Picked up by Brown. Good work from Brown to turn on the ball. Pulls it back. It's a chance here for Carlisle. Good block from Tom Davis. A home crowd are appealing for a penalty, but you can't possibly give that as an intentional handball, even if it did hit his arm. But he did do very well to dive in front of the shot and make the block, because that was a good chance for Carlisle. Doyle to Bayliss and to Jack Grimmer on the right. Grimmer striding forward, level the penalty area now into Devon Kelly-Evans, who turns, shoots and forces a decent save from the keeper. It doesn't go out for a corner as the defender manages to hook it away. That was a good effort from Devon Kelly-Evans. Just parried away by the Carlisle keeper. Little has it now for Carlisle. And the ball is and the shot from outside the area is not a bad one from Reggie Lamb, who let the ball run and fire the left-footed shot in, but it's wide of Lee Burge's right-hand post. Carlisle look to attack, and they play the ball down the right channel, but it's Dominic Home trying to shepherd the ball out. It didn't go out, and then it's played across the 6-yard box and curls just wide of the post, and Hyam will regret that. He should have gone for safety. He was hoping the ball would go out for a goal kick, and it didn't, and he was almost embarrassed. It's a corner to Carlisle on the right, taken by James Brown. Oh, it's a good delivery. Oh, and it's come off Hyam and bounced just wide of the post. It looked for a moment like that was an own goal, but the ball just went wide of the post for another corner.
The Sky Blues Live.
BBC, Coventry and Warwickshire.
Ever had that feeling? You don't know where you are, where you're going, or what you're looking for? Me too. Every Sunday morning. Where are you, please?
Hello.
Oh dear. When the hunt is on. What are you thinking here?
I don't know anything at all.
Across Coventry and Warwickshire to solve 5 clues and beat the master. Tell him I'm not in. And you've got all the answers. What do you reckon?
Why, it sounds like Friarsgate.
Our right location? Are you serious? Boom! Master, that is the best phone call I've ever taken. He's put the phone down. It's Golden Treasure with me, Brodie Swain. Sunday morning from 9.
Here at Brunton Park, there is a little half-time match going on between Coventry supporters and Carlisle supporters. Where there's 3 from each team, and it's who can hit the crossbar the most times. I'm afraid I haven't been keeping tally. I know the bar has been hit a couple of times. I have a feeling the Sky Blues fans might be ahead, but I'm not too sure, to be perfectly honest. Latest non-leagues, because not so many non-league games being played today, but where there are games, Bedworth United in good form lately, but they're playing against a team near the foot of the Northern Premier South table, so they'll be very disappointed with a half-time score of Bedworth 1, Peterborough Sports Sphinx 2. In the local derby in the Midland League Premier Division, it's Sphinx who are the better of United at the moment. Coventry Sphinx 2, Coventry United 1, and Rugby Town lead 2-0 against Highgate. BBC Coventry Warwickshire, if you want to comment, you can text 81333, start your message CW. You can tweet us at BBC Cov Sport. A few more of your comments are coming in. David of Kersley, I mentioned earlier that Carlisle, of course, were in the top flight famously and briefly, and he says he was at Carlisle v Spurs on the 24th of August 1974 with my family on the way to a Scottish holiday. Carlisle's first ever First Division home match, 18,426 there. Coventry Chelsea on the same day, 21,251. Very different days. Rob says, I know it's very, very early, but we're dying a boring death. Bevan is not a forward, as this 45 minutes prove, and alas, he has no skill or trickery up front. The Duke can bring the Sky Blues to life in the second half and put him on with Ponticelli and will get goals. I know we're struggling with a lot of knocks this half, but fortune favours the brave. Andy says, how much of this trash have we got to take before Robbins goes? And Rob says, this is absolute garbage under this manager. Terry says, McNulty not doing much. Still could have Biamo Bevan up front next game. That will be a real goal fest, says Terry, I think with a hint of sarcasm. You're not getting, I suppose, a great deal of opportunity so far, McNulty. But he did have the one effort, didn't he? He got himself into a shooting position. Maybe took a little bit too long with the shot, but he lined himself up and hit it firmly towards goal, and it was blocked by a defender who jumped in front of him. I did mention the rather bizarre stuffed fox, dead fox in other words, that they put in the centre circle at half time. I'm I'm grateful to my producer Rob for sending me the details from the Carlisle website. The website asks, how many times have you been asked why we carry a stuffed fox into the centre circle at a kick-off of a match? Well, don't carry it onto the centre circle, then you won't be asked. But anyway, apparently it's a gentleman called Colonel Salkeld with his hounds. He was preparing to go on a fox hunt. The picture was taken in the grounds of Dalston, dates back to 1912. Colonel Salkeld was aware of the connections in the area with John Peel, again not the radio DJ, and having caught a live fox, donated it to the football club. We've been unable to confirm where it was kept, but it was clearly extremely tame, as it was put on the lead and walked out onto the pitch ahead of every home game for a number of years. When it died, it was professionally treated and mounted, and it became our matchday mascot. Lovely. So they had a pet animal, and then when it died, they stuffed it and turned it into their mascot. How delightful. The name Olga is an anagram of goal, so it is. And it came from a source much closer to the Colonel's home. Apparently, Colonel Salkeld had a daughter named Olga, so he asked for that to become the name of the original live fox. That stuck through the years, and the name became associated with the Cubs mascot as a matter of course. Good. I'm glad we cleared that one up. It's the Sky Blues live. A lot of criticism from supporters. A few more of your texts. Got two strikers on the bench who were struggling to score. What's going on? Anonymous text there too, put your name on it. Ian says, what is Robbins doing? Drop one forward who can't score for another useless one who can't score, but leaves goal scorer on the bench. Unbelievable. So says Ian. So criticism from the fans. I don't think, Jeff, there's a great deal between these two teams, and the Sky Blue, both teams have had their little spells. I mean, perhaps the perception is Carlisle have dominated because they finished the half strongly, but the Sky Blues had their spells as well, where they did cause problems. There may only be one goal in this game at the end of the match.
Yeah, it looks that type of game, exactly, yes. So,
go on.
He has got the, if and when he wants to use them, that option of Ponticelli or Nasson to bring up, and that might be the difference. Who knows? If it is, then we'll accept that and move on. It'll be 3 valuable points, but at the moment you see a goal from either side, a really long option really, but we can but hope. Downstairs in the media suite, listen to 3 obviously Cumbrian journalists, all of them saying that Carlisle should have had a penalty.
What?
To me,
What?
that's ridiculous. That charge down.
Oh, how about that?
Yes, I know.
They're talking nonsense. I'm sorry.
That's
There's
what I
no
thought.
way that was a penalty in the month of Sundays. And the
what
fact
I
that Carlisle players didn't even appeal that much, so there we are. It's all about opinions, but in this case, that opinion is wrong. Tommy points out that Nazon hasn't scored for 4 games. He's wondering whether he's losing confidence or not. Interested, because he's been largely restricted to substitute appearances. And he says we need a Fleck-type player in midfield, as it is there's creativity. That's why we need Carl Baker. He plays with heart, so Robbins should sign him while you can. Otherwise, we're not firing all cylinders. Come on, guys, sort it out. And Duckin's Nazon is on at the start of the second half. Yeah, he's got to be on the start of the second half. He's not jumping up and down. Yes, he is. He's stripped off and jumping up and down on the halfway line. But it's it is Bevan, I think, who's missing. Yeah, it'll be Bevan who Nazon replaces. So it is Nazon on for Bevan at half time. So certainly Robbins can't be accused of taking too long to make a substitution this time, you would think, having made the change at half time. So we're about to start the second half, and it's Sky Blues to, or rather it'll be Carlisle to kick off.
I think they're going to kick it down the left-hand side.
Yes, they've got 4 players lined up on the left wing, a bit like a rugby union team about to take a kick. They've got 1 on the right, so it might be a big bluff, but they've taken the kick off, and we're underway, and already in the second half elsewhere. The second place team, Notts County, have gone 1-0 down at Swindon, who themselves are contenders for a possible playoff place. It's a throw in then to Carlisle deep inside their own half. So straight swap, Nazon's on for Bevan. That means the Sky Blues have used 2 of their substitutions, having had to bring on Dominic Hyam for the injured Jordan Willis during the first half. Throw in for Carlisle down the line. It's headed away by Grimmer. Carlisle play it high. Danny Granger into the Sky Blues half. It's headed on, and Chris Stokes trying to shepherd the ball out for a goal kick, and he succeeds. He gets a bit of a push in the back for his troubles, which is a tad unnecessary, but it is a goal kick to the Sky Blues. Swindon, as things stand, would now move to within 1 point of the Sky Blues, just outside the playoffs. That's a goal kick to Carlisle, 2 other Sky Blues. Lee Burge all in orange. The Sky Blues kicking from left to right, which means Sky Blues fans are now level with the goal. The Sky Blues are attacking in this second half. That goal kick goes straight to an unmarked Carlisle player, and it's a poor ball though there from Carlisle. It was Jamie Devitt who just lobs the ball straight out for a throw in to the Sky Blues. And the Championship derby are 2 up at Ipswich, and Tony Mowbray's Blackburn have regained the lead against Scunthorpe, leading by 2-1. Ball is played high into the Sky Blues half, hangs in the air, and Tom Bayliss gets his head to it now. Devon Kelly-Evans, who probably came closest to scoring in that first half. He plays it to the right to Jack Grimmer. Grimmer plays it down the right channel for Kelly-Evans. Kelly-Evans infield to Nazon. Nazon tries to go past his man, but he's tackled, and he goes down, Nazon, holding his side. As now Carlisle break. Well, that's not a great start from Duckins Nazon. He seems to be hurt already. And the ball is played out to the right wing by Carlisle. Sky was effectively down to 10 men at the moment. The ball's lobbed into the penalty area. It's headed in there. It's still hanging around the penalty area, and it bounces away. Jack Grimmer shepherds the ball out for a goal kick. Nazon back on his feet, but holding his right side. Not getting much sympathy, as you would expect from the home support. A
bit puzzled by Devon Kelly-Evans. He's got the chance today. He's been on from the start, and certainly in the first half, a couple of times when he had the ball, he cut back inside, and where it was all crowd and that, rather than his one asset that he has really got is a lot of pace. And just then he had a great opportunity to take the fullback on the outside, go down the wing, but he just looked back inside for support and offloaded the ball.
In the Premier League, an equaliser for Mohamed Salah for Liverpool. Liverpool 1, Leicester 1. It's Lee Burge with the long kick for the Sky Blues, headed away. It's won by Tom Bayliss. Was he pulled back there? He's still battling to win the ball. Doesn't succeed. The Sky Blues will get it back though. Michael Doyle just over halfway in the left wing, plays it down the left channel. Mark McNulty's chasing him, but the ball's going to bounce away and go out for a goal kick to Carlisle United.
Wind seems to be getting up here at Brunton Park. It's behind the Sky Blues.
The goal kick taken, the ball doesn't leave the penalty area, but so it has to be retaken. Carlisle in danger of getting themselves into a spot of bother here. The ball's gone back to the keeper. McNulty is giving chase, and the clearance finds Bayliss. The keeper's he's out of his position, but Bayliss couldn't control it to get the shot in. It's a Nazon now who doesn't find Shipley. If he managed to bring that straight under control, Bayliss, he'd have had an empty net to aim at from 30 yards out. But it just wouldn't sit up for him. And the Sky Blues have it again. Michael Doyle plays it over the top. McNulty gives chase. McNulty gets there and scores. Mark McNulty gives the Sky Blues a lead. The ball from the halfway line from Michael Doyle runs into the path of Mark McNulty, and he slots it into the net. I think Doyle might have had a bit of a contretemps with Keith Curl, possibly, because he turned to the bench and said something. But it's Mark McNulty who scored his 7th goal in 8 games, and the Sky Blues take the lead early in the second half. It is Carlisle United 0, Coventry City 1.
BBC Coventry and Warwickshire, loving every Sky Blues goal.
That was a superb finish by Mark McNulty, who just turned to the supporters away to our right, clenched fist, and they've got the lead now. They've got something to defend. We hope they're not going to sit back and defend that. Hopefully there'll be some more goals to come from the Sky Blues, but a lovely ball in from Michael Doyle, and you could sense as soon as it was taken half of its distance that it was going to cause problems to the Carlisle defence, and it fell to McNulty and kept his head and slotted it past the goalkeeper.
Well, of course, that's what Doyle was trying to do, I think, from a little bit closer in against Wickham, and again he hit it really well. That one is designed to cause problems. That one caused so many problems it went straight in. This one landed into the path of McNulty, who scored. Duckins Nazon is still in trouble. He went to the Sky Blues bench. He's received more treatment. He's still holding his left side, and this might be a very short appearance for Duckins Nazon unless he can run it off. But he still seems to be in some trouble.
There is a Sky Blues. Is that Ponticelli? Is it?
He's just deal with this because the Sky Blues have a ball in the penalty area to deal with it clear.
He's not fit. He's not fit, is he?
No, he's well covered, whoever that substitute is. He's got a hat and all sorts on, so it's difficult to see for him. He's on the far side. But you would think it probably is Ponticelli. Unless Robbins decides on some sort of change of formation. It's Doyle now for the Sky Blues, and Stokes is tackled, and that goes out for a throw into Carlisle just inside the Sky Blues half. That was a foul throw, gets away with that. Carlisle moving to the Sky Blues half, and it's Chris Stokes. Oh, Chris Stokes was a little bit tentative there, and he gives it away, and Devitt's cross, and Lee Burge does well to grab it as Reggie Bennett attacked the ball. Good goalkeeping from Lee Burge, not Chris Stokes' best defending of the afternoon.
No, it caused 1 or 2 problems then. The next 10 minutes are so crucial in the outcome of this game, you feel, that Carlisle throwing everything at the Sky Blues, and
the Sky Blues lead by a goal to 0.
And Nazon needs to get off as quick as possible. You feel, make it worse.
Maybe a little unlucky to be penalised. The referee explaining that he felt he pulled the man back. He got the ball, whether clearly the referee felt there was a pull there as well. Nazon is still out there. Mark Robbins has got a history of being not overly sympathetic to Duckins Nazon when he's wanted to come off in a game. So he might be telling him to stay out there and stop making a fuss.
Is anyone getting changed in the bench?
No, I don't think so. The ball is played long towards the edge of the Sky Blues penalty area. There's a bit of hesitation before Tom Davis gets the ball away. Here's Nazon now battling for the ball. He does get to it, lets it run for McNulty. He's not moving though, Nazon, at all. McNulty out to the left-hand side to Shipley. Shipley holds on to it, then plays it to Stokes. Stokes infield to McNulty. McNulty on the corner of the area to Shipley. Shipley tried to find McNulty again. Maybe one pass too many from the Sky Blues, and the ball is brought out. But Nazon is a passenger. I mean, he did quite well, but he was on the ball there, but he couldn't actually move to chase it afterwards, so he's going to have to be replaced, as you say. And Steve McGriffith has called over whoever it is with the bobble hat. on the far side, and the Sky Blues will make their last substitution, their second enforced one, and the only one that wasn't enforced has only lasted about 8 minutes. He's down on all fours now. Nazon now. He's asking the referee for treatment. Again, the crowd totally unsympathetic. He probably doesn't need to stay on his feet, Nazon, and just wait for the substitution. I think he'll be a little naive there. Or get it to the touchline, indeed. But he's not going to. The referee's not going to stop play, and he's probably right to be fair, not to. It's Carlisle inside the Sky Blues half. So the Sky Blues are down to 10 men until the ball goes out of play and they can get their substitute on. Carlisle, well, that will happen now because Carlisle played it straight out for a Sky Blues throw. I think it is Ponticelli is about to come on. We'll confirm that shortly. In League 2, fourth place, Wickham have been pegged back by Mansfield, who themselves are up near the top. It's 1-1 there. Newport are 1-0 up at Cheltenham Town now in League 2. In the Premier League, Everton have equalised against Bournemouth. That one is 1-1. And
he's going to give him a piggyback, I think.
So, who is it that's coming on for the Sky Blues?
Is there a scoreboard or a clock?
There isn't, no. Not what I can see anyway. Might be on this stand, but I haven't been able to see one. So, unfortunate for Duckens Nazon, he's straight off. It is, I think, Jordan Ponticelli who's going to come on. Although for some reason there's a delay in making the substitution. He wants to come on, but the referee's not letting him on yet. I don't really understand. Wants the number to be shown, and well, it is Max Biamo that's come on, or Max Brown, as the Tannoy announcer has announced. So I forgot Max Biamo was on the bench. So it's Biamo who's come on. Sky Blues leading by a goal to nil. He replaces Duckens Nazon. And, well, again, I have to say Mark Robbins doesn't go for the obvious popular choice, and if the Sky Blues don't win, he's bound to get criticism for it. But he believes Biamo is the right man now, as the Sky Blues lead this game. Biamo's on the ball now, gives it to Grimmer. Grimmer's ball aimed at Devon Kelly-Evans, doesn't find him. It's intercepted by Tom Bayliss, who turns. He plays it down the right. He's overhit it, and it goes out for a throw-in. The Lincoln have regained the lead against Forest Green Rovers. That one is 2-1 now. Tony Mowbray's Blackburn have been pegged back for a second time, 2-2. And Accrington Stanley lead by a goal to nil at Grimsby. So some of the teams in and around the top places are winning, but so are the Sky Blues. Max Biamo had a chance to get a ball in there, but his pass wasn't a good one, and it's scrambled clear by Carlisle. Here's Chris Stokes for the Sky Blues, who lead by a goal to nil. Stokes forward. Here's Biamo. Not Biamo, it's McNulty rather, who controls the ball, tries to turn on it, but doesn't succeed. It's a slightly loose defensive pass, but Carlisle get away with it. They have it inside their own half, and a high ball in. Tom Davis heads it out for a Carlisle United throw-in. Sky Blues lead 1-0. Carlisle have offered some threat in this game, so they'll be hopeful of getting an equaliser, but the Sky Blues win possession just outside their penalty area. It's given away carelessly by McNulty, though. Biamo tracks back and does well, and Chris Stokes now gets it out to the left and finds Jordan Shipley. Shipley's pass, and Michael Doyle ends up running into it, and it sets Carlisle through. They have a chance to get the attack going here. Well, he was looking for a free kick there, I think. Mike Jones went down, but it comes back to Carlisle, so there's still danger. Good defending from Chris Stokes that time, but the ball doesn't run kindly from him. It does now, and Doyle finds McNulty, and the Sky Blues have 2 against 2 here, with McNulty supported by Biamo. He's now also got Bayliss outside him. He plays it to Bayliss. Tom Bayliss shot. Oh, it's saved onto the post. Devon Kelly-Evans, should have done better than the rebounders, and got into the net, but it'll be disallowed for offside. Biamo is offside. Here's back heel in the end, but Devon Kelly-Evans, well, he lacked confidence to really hit that one. If he did it straight into goal, it would have counted. His shot deflected off a defender, went to Biamo, who was in an offside position because the keeper was well off his line, and his back heel into the net disallowed. And now Carlisle threatened at the other end, and they may have a chance here. The shot comes in and it's on target, but A good position from Lee Burge. He's able to catch Richie Bennett's shot easily. This game really livening up, but the Sky Blues still lead by a goal to nil. Possibly, Jeff, should have been 2-0.
Well, it should have been, yeah, no doubt about that. It was well worked. And before that, there was an awful pass by Shipley to Doyle, and the Sky Blues who nearly paid the penalty for that. But they got the ball back. They managed to retrieve that situation and then attacking it 2-on-1 at one stage. And I think 3 occasions in the move when someone had a chance to score, and they didn't take any of them, which was a shame. As you say, Devon Kelly-Evans had the best chance, you feel, but his shot was blocked, and then from offside position turned into the net.
Now Carlisle breaking down the left-hand side with Hallam Hope level with the penalty area. He plays it infield, the ball, return ball for Hallam Hope, takes it to the byline, and Jack Grimmer was there. Grimmer felt he knocked it against Hope. He might have done, but possibly after the ball had gone over the line, because the decision is a Carlisle corner. Their 5th of the game. Sky Blues still haven't had one. It's on the left-hand side, and referee just telling Devon Kelly-Evans to get back the regulation 10 yards. In goes the cross, which Tom Davis does well ahead on the edge of the 6-yard box in a dangerous position, and then Carlisle head it straight out.
Davis did really well inside the 6-yard box, and he looked to have just overrun the ball that came in from the corner spot, but he was able to just adjust himself very quickly and clear the way away from danger. You just have to say it was that deep in the 6-yard box. Why didn't Lee Burge put a name on it?
The league 2 leaders Luton are 2-0 down now at Port Vale. Tom Pope scoring there. As things stand, the Sky Blues will be up to 6th place. They'd be 2 points off 3rd. Carlisle are making a substitution here, and John O'Sullivan is coming on replacing Tom Parks. So the Sky Blues will be in 6th place. It is tightening up the way things are going. Top 2 are both losing, but they did have a bit of a lead already. Lincoln in 3rd are keeping their 3rd place because they're leading. Exeter and Wickham also winning. The Sky Blues winning up to 6th, and they would only be a point ahead of Colchester in 7th and Accrington in 8th, and then there's a 2-point gap to Mansfield. That's how things stand, so it wouldn't have changed that much. Underlines the Sky Blues need to win this game, really. They are doing at the moment. They have a throw in just inside the Carlisle half. A draw would just about keep them in the top 7 on goal difference as things stand, but only just. And we don't want that. Actually, it wouldn't, come to think of it. I think they would be out. There's an offside there. Draw to correct that. The Sky Blues, if they were to be pegged back to draw the game, would be dropping into 8th place as things stand. So they need the win, and Accrington had 2-0 up at Grimsby.
Nice flick on there from Biamo, which is one of his really good positive qualities.
It's Carlisle on the halfway line. I wonder if it had still been 0-0, whether it might have been Ponticelli who's got the vote, but the Sky Blues 1-0 up. Maybe the qualities of Max Biamo might work better, and certainly in the mind of Mark Robbins, as the Sky Blues force Carlisle back into their own half. Carlisle with possession. Carlisle were trying to win for the 3rd game in a row for the first time since October 2016. They have the ball just outside the Sky Blues penalty area, but Devon Kelly-Evans does well. Nicks the ball off the defender, and now Mark McNulty turns on it. Just holds on to the ball, so Biamo, who was running forward, has to check because he was offside. Well, I don't know. Yes, the flag was about to go up. Out on the far side was in danger of playing. It was all irrelevant anyway, because the ball was badly overhit and bounces out for a goal kick to Carlisle. Carlisle 0, Coventry City 1. Here on BBC Coventry in Warwickshire. We've played 17 minutes of the second half. Carlisle remain a threat. Sky Blues, you feel, may need a second goal. Devon Kelly-Evans was almost caught in possession, but he's done okay. He's won the throw-in by his own corner flag. Still 600 plus Sky Blues fans in celebratory, hopeful mood, maybe slightly anxious as well. They lead by a goal to nil. Mark McNulty continuing his rich vein of goal-scoring form, taking the chance with confidence. He's only really had 2 chances in the whole game. First one, his shot was blocked. The second one, he scored. Michael Doyle's header forward, and Carlisle's a good ball out to the right. They find James Brown in loads of space here. Brown plays it in towards the edge of the penalty area. Hallam Hope goes down, but nothing doing from the referee. And the Sky Blues counter-attack. McNulty's on his own, tries to go past the defender, almost succeeds. And the ball just ricochets away. And the Sky Blues will get a free kick for offside. They might have had an advantage. Devon Kelly-Evans on the ball, but they probably won't mind. They can use up a bit of time. And they have the free kick, and they still lead by a goal to nil. So Lee Burge to take it. So Sky Blues fans, you can hear singing now. It would be 2 wins and 3 in the third of these 4 games in 11 days, and a game against Chesterfield, which might on paper look straightforward. Chesterfield struggling, but they are improving Chesterfield. So Sky Blues will take nothing for granted in that game, but could be an opportunity for them to make this a pretty decent festive period despite the disappointment against Port Vale. Long way to go in this game. The ball's hit high by Tom Davis. Remember, it is a real makeshift defence from the Sky Blues, and they have had problems with injuries. Tom Bayliss wins the ball in midfield. It comes to Devon Kelly-Evans. Kelly-Evans to Bayliss. Back to Devon Kelly-Evans. He's got Jack Grimmer outside him. Gives it to Bayliss again. Bayliss, a bit of trickery from him to get round his player. He's running towards the penalty area. He might try a shot here. Now, the shot, unfortunately, didn't match the quality of the run, but it was good, positive stuff from Tom Bayliss, but he puts it wide, and it's out for a goal kick.
It certainly was a positive move from Bayliss. His sort of trademark is just turning very quickly in midfield and using his pace, undoubted pace, and his strength to pull away from the defenders. But then whether he just panicked a bit as he was getting close to the goal, I'm not sure, but in the end, when he was looking for needing a shot of the outside of his right foot or his left foot, he was in two minds, and it went harmlessly away.
Michael Doyle with the 1-2. McNulty plays it over the top. Biama's onside, but the ball comes down from him. It does. Oh, he just lost control of it. Biama, there were 2 defenders on him. It wasn't an easy chance by any means, but he seemed to do the hard work by getting the ball down. But then too heavy a touch. Biama's frustration in front of goal continues.
Yeah, the hardest part was controlling the ball, which he did successfully, but couldn't get.
Here's Grimmer on the run. 5-7 Kelly-Evans. Grimmer's caught off the ball. Referee's playing the advantage, and Devon Kelly-Evans pulls it back. Oh, in between Biama and McNulty. Neither of them could reach it. And Carlisle are able to clear, but only as far as the Sky Blues. The referee may yet come back to that earlier foul and show a card. It was a good advantage play by him. Michael Doyle out to the right. Devon Kelly-Evans gives chase. That's going to bounce away out for a throw, and the referee is just checking with his assistant who was the culprit. And it was, surprise, it's Clint Hill. Oh no, it's not. I'm doing him a disservice. He does get a few. It is Danny Granger who's going to get the yellow card.
Again, that same. It's jinx for the Sky Blues at the moment. Deep inside the penalty area on the right-hand side, they can't pick the right pass out.
No. Little unlucky that time, but just dissected the 2 forwards. But yeah, just feel that Sky Blues could get a second goal. The home crowd are pretty quiet as it is, but Sky Blues at the moment looking capable of getting another goal. But can they do it? Michael Doyle's hit in the face by the ball, and the crowd shout handball, but the ball is with Dominic Hyer. Must have played it back to his keeper. And don't forget, it is a makeshift Sky Blues defence. That's a big kick from Lee Burge. That might turn out to be a shot on target. Max Biama gets his head to it, headed it down, and maybe if McNulty had anticipated that, there might have been half a chance for him there. Carlisle on the halfway line with Bennett, as well intercepted by Tom Bayliss, having another great game, and it's controlled. That might have been a handball for Mark McNulty, but not given by the referee. But Carlisle win it anyway, and Devon Kelly-Evans just snapping at the ankles. He'll be penalised for that. He's told to calm down as he snapped at the ankles of Mike Jones. Free kick taken quickly by Carlisle. It's showing some urgency here. They have it inside the Sky Blues half with Jamie Devitt. Devitt plays it, he's overhit that, and that will be collected by Lee Burge. Still 1-0 the Sky Blues lead. We are now halfway through the second half. Can the Sky Blues hold on to this one? It was Stevenage, wasn't it, when they were leading away and couldn't hold on to it. They have it now with Doyle out to the left to Jordan Shipley. Shipley cuts inside, just lets the ball run, but it's run kindly to McNulty. McNulty now tries a shot. Biamo is onside, but the ball is just ran away from him. It wasn't a chance for him that time. It nearly was. And they were looking for an offside that was never there, Carlisle. But the ball just was beyond the reach of Biamo. And Carlisle now bring it forward. They have it on the right wing. Oh, they've given it away though. More frustration from the home crowd. Now Tom Bayliss for the Sky Blues on another run. Bayliss could go all the way here. Bayliss is just outside the penalty area. Fires a shot in. Oh, it's a good save from the keeper. And the rebound doesn't run kindly for the Sky Blues. Biamo was there, but the rebound didn't run into his path. And it's clear. Great stuff from Bayliss, but he doesn't get the goal. And now Carlisle threaten. They charge forward. They have it with Reggie Lamb. Lamb out to the right wing. Sky Blues a little bit stretched here. Oh, it's a wrong decision from Hallam Hope. Surely should have gone for the shot. He tried to play the return pass. He's overhit it. The Radio Cumbria commentators beside me are going ballistic. That's gone out for a goal kick to Coventry City.
Well, he should have had a shot, or certainly played a lot softer return pass to the players running into the 6-yard box. And Sky Blues are having lots of chances to get to double this lead, but not taking them. Great run and great effort by Tom Bayliss. That was all down to the goalkeeper's save.
Ball flicked on by Biamo. McNulty, it almost runs for him there. It comes now to Biamo. Biamo now. Oh, he finds McNulty. Oh, I think he was onside, but McNulty couldn't reach the pass. And it goes to the keeper. The League 2 leaders, Luton, are now 3-0 down at Port Vale. And also Exeter, this is perhaps more relevant to the Sky Blues. Exeter have been pegged back. Barnet have equalised against them. Exeter 1, Barnet 1. And Cambridge are now 3-1 up against Crewe. All those in League 2. Reading lead Barnsley by a goal to the Championship, and Chelsea are 4-0 up at the Premier League against Stoke. De Silva scoring the 4th goal. There's a foul there on Tom Bayliss. Sky Blues get a free kick inside the Carlisle half. Carlisle are going to make another substitution, their second, and those who fear that former players always score against the Sky Blues will not be pleased to know that Sean Miller on for Hallam Hope. The Hallam Hope is their top scorer, so they've sacrificed their top scorer and brought a man who did score in their last game against Accrington, Sean Miller. Not sure he's ever really given a fair chance at the Sky Blues, Sean Miller, but anyway, here's Max Biamo. Turns on the ball, level with the penalty area. Oh, plays a good ball into the path of Jack Grimmer. Grimmer pulls it back, or a defender heads in. It could have gone anywhere, and it will eventually go out for a Sky Blues throw. Good work by Biamo and Grimmer there. So throw in for the Sky Blues, right in front of the Sky Blues supporters, who know that they may well need the second goal, but also know that if they get it, they will probably win the game. Grimmer finds Biamo. Biamo back to Grimmer. Grimmer level with the Carlisle penalty area, moves towards the byline, pulls back across, couldn't quite wrap his boot around it, and it goes out for a goal kick. 1-0 the Sky Blues lead. It's going to be nervy. Stays this way. Still a long way to go. 19 minutes to go. The Sky Blues fans sing the Sky Blues song. Carlisle fans are actually pretty quiet at the moment, but they will liven up, no doubt, if Carlisle can get a bit of pressure on, as they have done in spells in this game. Fairness, Lee Burge has not really had a great save to make. A couple of times he's made decent saves when he's gotten to the right position, but he's not really been stretched. Here's Tom Bayliss on the halfway line for the Sky Blues. Finds Grimmer to Devon Kelly-Evans. Devon Kelly-Evans drags the ball back, gives it to Grimmer. Grimmer down the right channel looking for Biamo, but that wasn't quite executed correctly. In the Premier League, Liverpool have come from behind to lead Leicester 2-1. Mohamed Salah has scored them both. As things stand, Sky Blues will now be up to 5th place and be 2 points behind 3rd. Although it is very, very tight. And if the Sky Blues, still the case, if the Sky Blues were to concede an equaliser, they'd be out of the top 7. They have it now with Biamo inside the Carlisle half to Michael Doyle. Doyle forced backwards, plays it out to the left. Shippey does well to control the ball, then drags it back. Does he want to throw in? No, he hasn't. He's get the ball straight out, unfortunately, for a Carlisle throw. 1-0 to Coventry City. Looking to make it. It would be 3 wins out of 4. There's 2 home wins against Cheltenham and Wickham. The Sky Blues man's gone down. They fell awkwardly there. Is that Max Biamo? It is. I'll have to get up. The Sky Blues have used all their substitutions. Dominic Hine with a good header away from the edge of the penalty area. Jack Grimmett now shepherds the ball out for a Sky Blues throw. He does appear to be in some discomfort, Max Biamo. The Sky Blues are certainly having a big casualty. So they've got to get another game in 2 days' time, remember. I don't know who's going to be fit to play at this rate. Biamo is walking ginger. I think it's one who'll be able to run off. I hope it is. They've already lost Rob McDonald. Well, they lost Rob McDonald before the game. Maybe because his wife was expecting, so we might see him back by New Year's Day. They lost Jordan Willis in the first half through injury. Duckens Nazon came on as a half-time substitute and within a few minutes got an injury which ended his game.
Stuart Bevan, we didn't go long, didn't we?
Well, I don't. Well, I thought that was. Well, my guess was that was tactical. Do you think Bevan might have been injured?
I think
possible.
Played into the decision.
Anyway, well, Max Biamo a little unlucky there to be penalised. I thought it was his shirt that was pulled. Carlisle player tries to get Biamo caution by kicking the ball at him and saying he's not retreated 10 yards. The referee doesn't worry about that and tells Carlisle to take the free kick again. Little to take it.
It's Clint Hill actually, probably a tricky one to Tranmere.
It's cleared by Doyle. There's been a few other clubs as well, in fairness. The ball's brought away by Shipley, who plays it for McNulty to chase. Mark McNulty on the right hand side and goes past his man. He's in the penalty, pulls it back. It's Shipley. Oh, he goes down. Shipley is a penalty. Shipley is brought down and he was, well, trying to get the ball into position for a shot in, maybe a little fortunate to be truthful. I think it was a foul, but it was probably an unnecessary foul as he knocked the ball into position, fired the shot in. He was brought down. Interesting, the player who committed the tackle is not arguing. I think Mike Jones knows he got that wrong, but great stuff from Mark McNulty, and he will have the chance to score a second penalty in the space of 3 games. It's only the Sky Blues second in the league this season. McNulty starts in the D. The last time he really blasted it to Kingdom Come, and he takes this one and the keeper saves, and it's scrambled out for a Sky Blues throw. Sky Blues miss the chance to wrap the game up. Mark McNulty's penalty saved. It wasn't, to be truthful, a great kick. It was a fairly comfortable save, and it keeps the Sky Blues on tenterhooks. 50 minutes to go. Carlisle are making their last substitution. Kelvin Atuhu's coming on. He's replacing Reggie Lamb.
Just going back to the, I just like you. I just thought Shipley took too long to create space to get the shot away, and obviously he was fouled, penalty. Nowhere near as good as that previous penalty from Mark McNulty, where he hit it hard and he hit it just off centre, I think it was. That one, he sort of was thinking of blasting it, and then he sort of checked himself a little bit and then side-footed it to the goalkeeper's left, and it was an easy one for him to save.
It might have been an attempt at a bluff. He might have, presumably the Carlisle keeper would have been aware of that last penalty. Maybe he was trying to bluff him, but it didn't work. Now it's Shipley for the Sky Blues outside the penalty area. He can make it not matter. The shot is saved. Devon Kelly-Evans pulls the rebound back. It hits McNulty, or Biamo rather, and the second goal just will not come for the Sky Blues. They should have wrapped this game up now several times over. Here's Jack Grimmer running towards the penalty area. Oh, Kelly-Evans in lots of space, but the pass from Grimmer was not good enough, and it goes out for a goal kick. Elsewhere in League 2, Cheltenham have equalised against Newport. That is 1-1, and in the Championship, Aston Villa are 1-0 up at Middlesbrough.
And the Sky Blues should be home and hosed at the moment. They should at least be 2 or 3-0 up. Still, it's just that precarious 1-0 lead.
Well, we've got to keep going here. Surely the second goal will come if they keep going like this. Backheader from Max Biamo, chased by McNulty. It was a poor clearance. McNulty gets onto the ball, pulls it back. Here's Shipley. Oh, it's a poor ball from Shipley. Goes out for a goal kick. He's a youngster, Jordan Shipley. He's had a decent run in the first team. Perhaps we just expect too much from him. I think he has the last couple of games to an extent. Which is not surprising. It always happens with the young players. Anyway, he did win the penalty, to be fair to him. Accrington is standing now 3-0 up at Grimsby in League 2. And the Sky Blues still only lead by a goal to 0. And if they don't win this game, well, it'll be Wallace all the way in the 200 plus miles home. Was Biamo fouled there? The referee says no. Biamo stayed down. Awkward pass back to Lee Burge, who manages to get the ball away up to the halfway line, and the Sky Blues win it. Shipley gives it to Bayliss. Bayliss does well. He's not shown any great dip in form yet, Tom Bayliss, although he looks a bit tired now. But he can't be replaced because the Sky Blues have used all their substitutions. Jack Grimmer on the right wing. Just couldn't keep the ball in. It's gone out for a Carlisle throw. And now it's cleared up towards the halfway line. Tom Davis, he was fouled. The free kick's got his way, but then he retaliated a little bit. He could be in trouble here, Tom Davis. Referee's gone to his pocket. I think it's going to be a yellow card. Didn't need to do that. He got the free kick. He just pulled his man to the ground in frustration. And Davis will get a yellow card. I think it is yellow. And, so he can't afford to be sent off with the Sky Blues running out of central defenders. They've got plenty in their squad, but they're going through them. Referee's having a word with Michael Doyle as well. I think he might be saying here that this is quite a bright yellow for Davis. He's got to watch himself. A yellow card to Tom Davis. Free kick to the Sky Blues just inside their own half. Still 11 potentially long minutes to go. It should be comfortable for the Sky Blues now, but it isn't. It's still 1-0. The ball's headed into the penalty area. It's headed away, and Carlisle pick it up. They might be able to break here. Carlisle United, they break down the left hand side with Devitt. Devitt now plays it in towards the edge of the penalty area. The ball's pulled back by Sean Miller. It's cleared by the Sky Blues out for a throw-in. Attendance of 5,807, and once again a terrific away turnout of 847 Sky Blues fans here, and all hoping the Sky Blues get the win that their second half performance warrants, but is not yet safe. The ball's played towards the Sky Blues penalty. That must be a push from Chris Stokes. Thank you very much. Free kick to Coventry City. Breathe. Crowd just been announced to ironic cheers from the Sky Blues fans. So 5,000 home fans, 800 away fans, 850, let's say, away fans here, making 211-mile journey from Coventry, most of them. Free kick to the Sky Blues, which Lee Burge is taking his time with. 9.5 minutes for the Sky Blues to see off this game. Carlisle at the moment are feeding a bit on scraps, but of course it would only take one scrap and they could break the Sky Blues' hearts. Free kick for Lee Burge, and Tom Bayliss jumping for the ball, rather jumps into his man, and he's penalised. That's a free kick to Carlisle, halfway inside their own half. Keeper's going to go for a long ball forward here. Central defenders, who remember, are Hyam and Davis now. I'm going to have to watch this carefully as the ball is kicked high. There it goes, and it's Lee Burge goes and it hits the floor. There was confusion between the central defenders and Lee Burge, and it hit Clint Hill's back. Clint Hill going forward now in search of an equaliser for Carlisle. Almost landed for them there. Carlisle now on the left wing. Tackle comes in from Bayliss, but it comes back to Carlisle. It comes to Danny Granger. Granger towards the edge of the area. It's headed away and headed back in. All Bayliss. Maybe a bit of young naivety there. Jumps in for the challenge and collided with Kelvin Atutu, and is given a free kick in a very dangerous position. 25 yards out. Almost central.
Silly challenge there, so close to the goal.
Yeah. Sky Blues. Well, if they did concede here, you look at the conceding of the free kick, but more than that, you'll look at the missed opportunities, including the missed penalty, and how much that will have cost the Sky Blues. Jamie Devitt is over it for Carlisle. There are other players poised as well. Clint Hill is there, so is Mike Jones. And it comes to Devitt, shoots, and the ball did its job. It came out quickly after the short free kick and blocked the free kick. Now Jack Grimmer's gone down after a clash of heads. Lee Burge has caught the ball, and the referee, why there's a Carlisle player reacted, I don't know why. Grimmer's clearly hurt his head there, and the referee is saying, okay, we'll stop play and bring the physio on for Grimmer. And there's a bit of afters going on involving Devon Kelly-Evans and Tom Bayliss and 3 Carlisle players, and it's getting a little scrappy out there in the middle. And well, Grimmer, he needs to be all right. The Sky Blues can't replace him. Now, in the Premier League, Swansea have equalised at Watford. Jordan Ayew has scored it. Birmingham lead Leeds in the Championship. What about this as a scoreline from League 2? Port Vale 4, Luton 0. It's now Brentford 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0 in the Championship. Sacking the manager hasn't produced instant rewards to Sheffield Wednesday. They won 1 game, but that's about it. Jack Grimmer's he's getting a bandage around his head. Referee might insist he goes off. He's not, so he's getting a bandage wrapped around his head several times. So there must be a bit of a cut there. And the Sky Blues, as I say, can't afford to take him off. There could be now the referee's gone to his notebook here. There's going to be some card, or at least a card, maybe 2 cards shown. Max Biamo is there. The card is shown to Biamo and to Jamie Devitt. Obviously for what was going on in the afters. So perhaps Biamo could give his name as Max Brown, because that's what's on the team sheet. Wickham in 4th place have gone behind now at home to Mansfield, though Mansfield themselves are in contention. That just really squashes things up a bit. Wickham 1, Mansfield 2. Championship, Fulham have equalised against Hull. That's 2-2. The ball's been dropped at Lee Burge's feet. Why is there a Carlisle player standing right beside him? It's clearly got to be Lee Burge's ball. Burge is waiting to pick the ball up. He's wasting time, so the Carlisle player has to challenge at the end. I think Burge got the better of that particular contest. Grimmer's back on the field, but wearing a bandage, a sky blue bandage around his head. The long kick from Burge. Maybe there's a bit of a wind behind him. It goes all the way to his opposite number in the Carlisle goal. Well, there will be a fair amount of stoppage time now, but 5 minutes of normal time to go. Carlisle 0, Coventry City 1. The punt upfield from the Carlisle keeper gets caught in the wind. It just crosses the halfway line. Devon Kelly-Evans charges down the ball, and Tom Bayliss is in there. Both teams appeal for the throw-in, but rightly I think it goes Carlisle's way. Danny Granger, the Carlisle captain, throws it towards the corner of the penalty area, comes out to the left-hand side, fired across the penalty area. There could be a chance here. Good defending from Michael Doyle, just to step in front of Richie Bennett and prevent the shot. And I think it hit him in a fairly uncomfortable place, but all he was concerned about there, Doyle, was getting in the way, and he did it, and the Sky Blues get the throw. In the Premier League, Chelsea now leads Stoke 5-0. So it'll be easy for the Sky Blues against Stoke. Davis scored the Chelsea's 5th goal. And also in the Premier League, Bournemouth are 2-1 up against Everton. They've regained the lead. A 2nd goal for Ryan Fraser. Here come Carlisle, still looking for an equaliser, which will be so frustrating for the Sky Blues if it comes. It doesn't there, though. Jordan Shipley intercepts and finds McNulty. McNulty's tackle, but it comes back to Shipley. Shipley is certainly working hard, holds on to the ball, goes past his man and plays it forward. The Sky Blues plays on offside positions, and the ball didn't quite squeeze through. McNulty might have been onside, but it didn't squeeze through to him.
Yeah, I think McNulty was onside if it had gone through. But Biamo was definitely offside, but he wasn't. He was running away from goal.
And here's McNulty back to goals. He kicked in the back. It comes to Biamo anyway. Biamo to McNulty. Devon Kelly-Evans outside him. Gives it to Devon Kelly-Evans. It wasn't a perfect ball, but Kelly-Evans has got onto it. Inside the penalty area, fires a shot. It gets a deflection. And in the 87th minute, the Sky Blues get their first corner of the game. Now Devon Kelly-Evans has gone down with cramp. It's been hard work for the Sky Blues here. They've got to pick themselves up and play again in 2 days' time. Again, no options to make replacements. The Sky Blues have really been forced to use all their substitutions. Devon Kelly-Evans is clearly struggling here. He's not got a physio while Mark McNulty's doing the physio's work at the moment. I think the referee is saying you're going to have to go off if you want treatment. There will be a fair amount of stoppage time for the Sky Blues to endure. We need a corner here from Shipley. Onto somebody's head, 2-0, thank you very much. That's what we need. Whether we get it or not is another matter. It's anyway going to be Shipley with a corner on that right-hand side. McNulty's in advanced position, so is Biama. Goes to the far post towards Davis. Davis gets ahead to it, but can only head it backwards, and it will go out for a Carlisle throw deep inside their own half. In the Premier League, Swansea have come from behind to lead Watford 2-1. Luciano has scored their second goal. Here, Sky Blues still lead by a goal to nil, but it could be an agonising finish to the game for them. They've missed a penalty. They have dominated the second half, and to be fair, they've looked pretty solid at the back as well, but it only takes one moment for it all to be undone. And Mark McNulty chases a loose ball. He's worked tirelessly, forces a dangerous pass back, and the keeper struggles to control it. Eventually he manages to kick it forward, and Devon Kelly-Evans, who's recovered from his cramp, is in there, makes a tackle, but is penalised. Slightly gave the game away by appealing to the referee not to give the free kick before he had, which slightly suggests that he thinks he has committed a foul. Free kick to Carlisle, just inside the Sky Blues half, on the left. Just over a minute of normal time to go. I'm going to reckon about 5 minutes of stoppage time.
At least.
Danny Granger to take the free kick. I am guessing, I haven't actually timed it, but there have been quite a few stoppages, so it might well be more than that, but we've got to deal with this free kick first. Danny Granger floats it in, doesn't quite reach the penalty area, bounces though, and it's cleared. Free kick given just outside the area to Carlisle, and I think it's Chris Stokes who's penalised, and this is a free kick in a very dangerous position. And the Sky Blues are going to deal with this set piece before we even get into stoppage time. And it's a four-man wall for the Sky Blues. They lead by a goal to nil. Mark McNulty's goal. He's also had a penalty saved. And Jamie Devitt's over the ball. Danny Granger, I think, is the other player close to it. And it will be Granger, I think, runs up to the ball, fires it way over the bar. There's 6 minutes of stoppage time to be added. And that was a poor free kick, and the Sky Blues will say thank you very much. Exeter have got a stoppage time winner at Seam against Barnet. They lead Barnet by 2-1. So that will boost them up the League 2 table. Sky Blues really do need to win this game because other teams generally around them are winning. They will gain on 1 or 2 with a win. They were heading for 4th place, but I think that Exeter goal changes that. They head back to 5th now in the as it stands table, and still be 2 points behind Lincoln, who lead the bottom club 2-1. It's Carlisle suddenly on a break. The ball runs loose and it runs to Lee Burge, who's able to gather it. First minute of stoppage time seen off, 5 more to go. Lee Burge is holding on to the ball. He's got to be careful he's not penalised here. If the referee thinks he's taking too long, he can give a free kick. And he punts the ball upfield now, and that bounces deep into the Carlisle half. McNulty again. He's won the corner, McNulty. He really has. I know he's missed the penalty, but that's the only blemish in an otherwise outstanding performance from Mark McNulty. And he's got the corner here. He's having a bit of a go at Danny Granger.
I didn't see Granger touch that.
No, he did. He definitely did. It might have come off his elbow, actually, but not intentionally. So it's a corner to the Sky Blues. And, well, that man's not 10 yards. Back you go. Biama's there for the short corner. I think the Sky Blues are not going to try and score here. They're going to try and keep the ball in the corner. Biamo holding on to it. And the ball stood still. And Carlisle eventually turned it into a goal kick. Still, the school of thought that sometimes it might be better just go for a second goal rather than do that. But that's the way players are taught these days. It means Carlisle get the ball back with still 4 minutes of stoppage time to be played. The goal kick into the Sky Blues half. It's Michael Doyle who hoofs it forward, but it's back with Carlisle. Biamo does well. I thought he did well, and so does the referee. He's given the throw into Coventry. Carlisle fans are convinced Granger was fouled. Granger went down, so has Biamo. Biamo, who's on a yellow card, by the way. So the referee had been interpreted it the way the home crowd wanted to, he could have been in trouble, but I thought he got the ball cleanly. He reckons he got a knock, he's complaining. The end of it all is a throw into Coventry City, who are pretending they think it's a free kick. They know it isn't. Jack Grimmer with a throw now. It's clear, but it'll come back to Grimmer. Grimmer holds on to the ball, wearing his bandage around his head. And now is Tom Bayliss onto it. He gives it to Shipley. Shipley halfway inside the Carlisle half where the Sky Blues want it. Shipley tries to find Kelly Evans. He does in the end via a deflection. Kelly Evans out to the right to McNulty. McNulty infield to Grimmer. The Sky Blues holding on to the ball. McNulty again. Level with the penalty area. Moving towards the corner. And will hold on to it as long as he can there. McNulty by the corner flag. 2 Carlisle players trying to take it off him. McNulty keeping it and wins a throw in to cheers from the Sky Blues supporters. Halfway through the 6 minutes of stoppage time. 3 to go. The Sky Blues lead by a goal to 0. They have possession deep inside the Carlisle half. Grimmer now has it. 2 Carlisle men on him. He gets past one of them. He's in the corner, Grimmer. Again holding on to the ball, and that'll go out for a corner to the Sky Blues. Their third corner, and Carlisle players getting a bit frustrated now and showing their frustration. Lincoln have won, so they will stay in third place and still be above the Sky Blues by a couple of points, but all the Sky Blues can do is win their game, and at the moment they're doing so, but they're not there yet. This corner, again, there's no one from the Sky Blues in the penalty area at all for this corner. It's going to be a short one. McNulty to Biama. McNulty playing a bit of gamesmanship, claiming the defenders aren't 10 yards back. He's played it now to Biama. Biama again holding on to the ball, and he's not as good as it as McNulty, and it goes out for a goal kick. So Carlisle do get it back. They've still got just under 2 minutes of stoppage time to try and carve out another chance or two. They play the ball up to the halfway line. It's headed in field. Well, nothing silly now from the Sky Blues as the ball's played over the top. That's overhit. Lee Burge will take that. Thank you very much. And I'll hold on to it again. He's got to be careful not to try the referee's patience too much when he's holding on to the ball, because the consequence of the referee thinking it's time wasting is he gives a free kick to the opposition. The leaders, Luton, have lost 4-0 at Port Vale. Sky Blues will still be 10 points behind them, but they'll close the gap a bit. It's Carlisle now outside their own penalty area. They whip the ball forward, and that's going to bounce out for a Sky Blues throw. Stokes is in danger of conceding a free kick there, but he doesn't. Free kick to the Sky Blues, who will be 5th after this if they win. 2 points behind third place Lincoln. Only 6 behind Notts County now in second place. They'll be still only 1 point clear of 8th though, and indeed 9th. So it is still very bunched up and close, but the Sky Blues are doing what they have to do now. But Carlisle win it. They may get another opportunity here. Carlisle with half a minute of the 6 to go. They have it on the halfway line. It's played over the top. It's headed away by Stokes. Jordan Shipley tries to get there first and gets a little bit of a break, knocks it out for a throw into Carlisle. Still time for Carlisle. Seconds to go. They're throwing in towards the corner. Every Sky Blues man back. The cross is blocked by Stokes, but it runs kindly for Carlisle, and they play it to the penalty area. There could be a chance here. There's a block. There must be an offside. Lee Burge has grabbed the ball anyway, but there was an offside against Carlisle, and that might just do it.
Brave goalkeeping again by Lee Burge. Dive where the boots were flying. He didn't wait and see if there was an offside flag. He had to get hold of the ball, which he exactly did that. And City have hopefully the last free kick of the game, the offside. He did Sunday best well into the Carlisle half.
Well, we now have played 6.5 minutes of stoppage time. How much more will the referee allow? Will it be full time when this goal free kick is taken? No is the answer. Biama gets his head to the ball. There it is now. The Sky Blues win away. 847 Sky Blues fans cheer. It's been a really spirited second half effort from the Sky Blues. They've deserved the win on the second half performance, dominated that second half. The only problem for them really was that the second goal wouldn't come, but in the end, one goal proved to be enough. Scored by Mark McNulty from an assist from Michael Doyle. McNulty then had a penalty saved. Mark Robbins shakes hands with Dominic Hyam, who only his 4th league appearance of the season, came on early in the first half for the injured Jordan Willis. Understandably, it took him a while to settle, but in the end, The defence was solid with him and Davis in the centre of defence. Mark Robbins sending all the players over to the corner to our right to thank the Sky Blues travelling supporters who've made this ridiculously long journey to support their team and see a away win that was desperately needed after the defeat against Port Vale. And they go over to the corner now. Some smiles there from the Sky Blues players. Jack Grimmer has removed that bandage that was around his head, so he's obviously okay. And Mark Robbins applauds the fans as well as they applaud and cheer back. The Sky Blues win away 1-0 here at Carlisle. The team had won their last 2 games and they make it 3 wins out of 4, Coventry City, and are at home to Chesterfield next game. It's finished. Carlisle 0, Coventry City 1. 0345 900 5200 for your reaction to the action. You can text 81333, cite message CW, tweet us at BBC Cov Sport. Let's get the thoughts of Jeff Foster.
A great performance, particularly the second half. It was spirited, determined, solid at the back as well. I don't think Lee Burge, I'm trying to remember if he had a save to make.
Not really. He had a couple that sort of straight at him. He positioned himself well for a couple, but nothing spectacular.
But he was a contender for man of the match. But my man of the match was Mark, even though he missed a penalty.
Yeah.
Mark McNulty. I thought he worked so hard, took his goal well. Just the penalty needs a bit of work on perhaps, but a great performance, a very, very, very valuable and deserved 3 points on the road, on the long road at Carlisle, and next stop McDonald's on the way home.
Other fast food outlets are available, and by the way, there are 3 of us in the car, so Jeff might yet be outvoted. 0345 900 5200, text 81333, cite message CW, tweet us at BBC Cov Sport. Let's get the traffic and travel next from Scott.
BBC Coventry and Warwickshire Travel.
Slow traffic in Coventry this afternoon. Holyhead Road is sluggish in both directions at 4 Pounds Avenue. Falls Hill Road also struggling both ways at Station Street, and Lockhurst Lane is busy but moving. We're also seeing heavy traffic on Walsgrave Road and Lambore Road. Moving into Royal Leamington Spa, there's heavy traffic on Kenilworth Road, The Parade and Warwick Street. And in Warwick we're seeing the usual congestion on the High Street and Jury Street. If you see a problem, call us on 0345 900 5200.
Pure drama on BBC One.
I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was educated at a private school in England. I run my own firm in the city. I'm very happy with my life the way it is.
Some people choose their path in life. Others have it chosen for them.
I've had 3 investors asking to redeem their capital.
Tell your investors that the story is completely untrue.
Someone in Moscow planned this to hurt the family.
I'm a banker, not a gangster.
Moving money is your weapon.
Welcome to the family business.
If you want to protect your family, this is what you have to do.
McMafia starts New Year's Day at 9 on BBC One.
BBC Coventry and Warwickshire Sport.
The Sky Blues phone in.
It's BBC Coventry, Warwickshire, the Sky Blues phone in on 0345 900 5200, text 81333, cite message CW, tweet us at BBC Cov Sport. Mark Robbins' team selection criticised by some before the game. He opted for Stuart Bevan. He did replace Bevan at half-time for Duckan's Nazon, but he was one of 2 players who had to be replaced because of injuries. He lasted barely 8 minutes before he was replaced by Max Biamo. The Sky Blues were ahead by then through Mark McNulty. They'd earlier had to replace Jordan Willis with Dominic Hyam. McNulty's goal, the Sky Blues dominating the second half, looking for the second goal that would kill the game. Their best chance was a penalty. McNulty's kick saved. In the end, 1 goal proved enough. The Sky Blues up to 5th in the League 2 table. They remain 2 points off the automatic places. 0345 900 5200 is a number to call. The national headlines: Chelsea soften up Stoke for the FA Cup by hitting 5 past them. Bournemouth get an important win against Everton. Liverpool come from behind to beat Leicester, and Swansea get a win for their new manager. In League 2, the lead